In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
keeps?
Gone are the days of Paz and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things, and it's called Best Gen because all of us on the panel are más o menos from the same generation, and we happen to think that it's the best one, but not because we're better than you, but our movies and entertainment certainly were. So strap on in and prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore while simultaneously complaining about the utter filth that Hollywood keeps pumping out of its sledge pipes on a daily basis. How is everybody doing tonight? My camera is lower than it's supposed to be.
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
I saw Mission Impossible this week and caught up on all the homework that I cared to catch up on. Let's just put it that way.
David saw Mission Possible.
Yes.
David saw some Mish Possible. You watched all of the movies.
Yes, I binged them all with my wife. I realized that I had only seen the first four. I could have sworn I saw the first 5 films, but I'd only seen the first 4 films of Mission Impossible. I couldn't remember where I stopped watching them.
So we can talk about some Mission Impossible spoilers. We've got Lilo and Stitch to talk about because my wife made us take the family to see that. And it's bad. It's very bad. And TV, we've got Doctor Who that just aired yesterday. It's the finale. That one's finally over. We won't have to talk about that again. I think there's going to be one more special, and then it is canceled. So we have that to not look forward to. Fantastic news. And then we've got some more Murderbot. Episode 4 dropped this week, which really should have just been episode 2. I think that's like my only criticism of the show is that the episodes are too short and they would be much better as 40-minute episodes. Yeah. And
totally agree.
Because this episode was great, and it would have been much better if it was tagged on to the end of the last episode.
Right. That was the thing. I didn't watch Murderbot last week, and so I watched these 2 episodes back to back. It felt like one episode.
Yep. It's just so short.
Yeah, it's insane. I've never seen a non-comedy show be, 25 minutes.
Okay. And I apologize. We're a little bit late. I am having monitor trouble. One of my monitors is just not working. I have a feel. I think it's the HDMI cord just decided to crap out and stop working. So I think what we're going to do is just ignore it. But every time it turns off, it like switches everything else around on my screens. Because it's like disconnecting physically. So sorry, with some technical difficulties. I just barely got home. I've been home for like 40 minutes. That's why we had to switch the show around. I had to go to a wedding last night, stayed the night, just got back. It's been long. It was super fun. Got to see some good friends, and okay, I am just going to close this because I don't have room for it on my screen. Oh no, one of my 4 screens went out, and now I can't stream, guys. Talk about third world problems, am I right? But yeah.
Chat.
And we got Doctor Who. What was the last show? There's and we got to talk about the finale of the Rehearsal.
Oh,
the Rehearsal, and I guess Charles watched The Last of Us, so there's that to discuss too.
I did.
And then it was a lot of homework. So if you're watching along, I am truly sorry for all of the filth that you've had to endure. But I get the feeling that most people watch this show so that they don't have to watch the bad stuff. So it's a service. We're providing a service. And then all those shows are ending. The Rehearsal, The Last of Us, and Doctor Who. So next week it's just we get 2 weeks of Murderbot. We'll get a little bit of a breather, and then we'll get Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I am excited for. I finished reading The Hedge Knight. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I bought all of the comics.
Okay.
Really looking forward to this. I've been completely ignoring the chat because I've been pulling up news articles. We're doing it on Sunday, just this week for now. I made my wife an honest woman. Yeah, you're so funny, Mark. I should read the deaths. Mark, stop giving me more books to read. The problem with, read the Vorkorzigan books. There's 30 of them. And yeah, I really liked it. It was a good book. But now I want to read all 30 of them. Okay?
Yep.
We were a little bit late. Yeah, technical difficulties. Sorry. I need to buy a new HDMI cord. I already said that. Let's see. I would love to see Alan's review of the Deathstalker series. Okay. Fine. Deathstalker. It's a movie. Deathstalker books. I'll squeeze one in, okay? Tell me which one to start with.
Don't let Mark Clark
You guys are
suggest
relentless.
what to start with.
What do I look like to you? A guy who likes reading? Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Smart clock, which one to start with. Also, he says you should read Deathstalker after the Vorkorzian book. So you have to read.
I read one of the Vorkorzian books. I want to read more, but now you got to start another series. I wanted to read more. I want to read the Vors game. I think that's the next one. But will it be another? We were 5 minutes late, Mark Clark. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Truth sworn test. Yeah, your comment went through. So, yada yada yada. Baby brother gets dressed up for the show. I am sweaty and gross. I need a shower, but the show must go on. Okay. You tried to binge the MI films, couldn't get through the second. Yeah, don't just skip.
You can skip the second. It is well regarded as the.
It's also never brought up again. None of it's relevant.
Yeah, it's widely recognized as the lowest of all Mission Impossible films.
Fallout. Fallout's a good one with
that
Henry
one,
Cavill. He cocks his arm guns like they were real guns. So good. Haven't seen Dead Reckoning yet. Well, I think we're going to fight about it because I think it's worth watching. I was let down, and David loved it. Right? You texted me you liked it.
Yes, I liked that. This isn't Dead Reckoning. This is Final Reckoning.
Final Reckoning. Right. Sorry.
Dead Reckoning. I had some issues with, and I do have a couple issues with this last one too. But I really did like it.
$10 from William Richards. What a great guy. We love you. Alan, I thought of you today. A guy at my church today was complaining about the kids not doing enough service stuff. His pitch was, we need to be like the Mormons, but without the heresy. Yeah. Look, the heresy comes with the service, okay? You can't get one without the other. All right. Jesus was a heretic. Okay. Be more like Jesus.
Got a point there.
Solar storms tonight. Wow. Stay safe. I don't. Not even an aurora. I missed. We had a huge aurora hit Utah, and I was out of town. And it was like the one time I didn't have to go anywhere to see an aurora borealis. Missed it completely. All my family was taking pictures, and I was upset. Death Stalker by Simon Green. Yeah, I pulled them up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them. Just start at the beginning? Okay. Guess I will. So the storm is happening tonight. It's free on Audible. Okay, look, I'll check out one. I'll squeeze one in. I kind of want to get back to the Vorkosian. I love the books. It's a horrible name. The Vorkosigan. Miles. The Miles books. I want to read more about Miles. I can't say it. I know.
Yeah, that's
I can
difficult.
see all of the letters in my mind, and I still can't. Vorkorzigan. Vorkozigan. I'm putting an extra R. I'm putting an extra R in there. Vorkozigan.
Gotcha.
They're really. I really liked the Apprentice. What's it called?
Ranger's Apprentice?
Not Magician's Apprentice. No, it's a sci-fi. It's good. Good book. First one.
Okay.
Nice.
You're gonna do a Deathstalker reread after finishing Wheel of Time. Yeah, I keep. That's the other thing. I still have to. I'm trying to fit in a whole bunch of books, and then I'm gonna have to speed read Path of Daggers to do the rereads with the Nerdporio life form. And he does this thing where he starts off real slow. I'll be like, okay, I'm starting the book. I'm like, okay. And then I start listening, and I've read half the book, and he goes, okay, I just got to chapter 2. And I'm like, bro. Okay, and so then I pause the book, and I start reading a whole bunch of other books. And then he goes, okay, I just started chapter 5. Okay, I finished the book. I'm like, okay, well, now I got to speed read the rest. We love Brian. Warrior's Apprentice, thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed Warrior's Apprentice. It was a fantastic book. Best Served Cold, already read. I'm ready for the adaptation, baby. Done. I liked it a lot. I like Best Served Cold.
How does it compare to First Law?
I think First Law is better. This one's a little more palatable, maybe. It's a little bit more fun, a little bit more lighthearted, which I think that's probably why they started the movies with those. Yeah, that's fair. I enjoy what I've read of Joe Abercrombie, though. I've heard The Devils is getting mixed reviews. Look, you either love it or you hate it, but it's not working for a lot of people. But the people who love it are like, this is the best he's ever written. So, yeah, well, totally. Salty, I wanted to stream with you for forever. If you're back on YouTube, baby, we're going to be talking about Best Served Cold. Okay? All right, what do we want to talk about first? I have a whole bunch of news, and I have not organized it at all. So it's going to be out of order and repetitive. Because, again, I just walked in the door.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to bang out one of the shows real quick? Murderbot?
For sure.
It's great. I'm really liking Murderbot.
Murderbot is really good. It's
also
annoying that they have
very,
those
very
lesbian,
faithful to the books.
Yeah,
they're adding a little bit of embellishments because I think it's like a 3.5 hour audiobook, and so like they're getting a little bit more screen time. And I don't think anything that they're adding is inconsistent with the book.
I think the lesbian characters are kind of annoying, but they're kind of written to be
right
annoying, right? So it doesn't really bother me.
He literally sees them and he goes, "Ugh, I want to vomit." You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't mind the one, but the one with the buzzed head,
The butch.
She is
Yeah,
not
they're,
a great
they're
character.
both kind of butch, but the one that's more
She's
androgynous.
she is very annoying. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
I have the Black Company as well. I've been planning on getting to that eventually, but people keep shoving more books in my face, so I haven't gotten to the Black Company yet. Okay. Yeah, Warriors Apprentice slaps. I loved it. I like in the sequels you get POVs of side characters, and their perception of the main character. Of book one, with barely suppressed awe.
Nice.
Yeah. He's kind of Miles Vorkosigan. He's kind of like the sci-fi Kvothe.
Okay.
In that, like half of. At least in the first book, he's flying by the seat of his pants, and half of his reputation is bullcrap.
Yeah,
and he's just caught up in a whole bunch of lies that if any of it falls through, he's screwed.
Okay, I kind of dig that,
and it's great. It's chaos. I really loved the Warrior's Apprentice.
Nice. I'll have to check that out after I get through the Wheel of Time.
Ignore whatever Steve and Brian say and only listen to you. No, William's been complaining about First Law. But he also complained about Doctor Who. So, the old stuff. He's been watching through the old stuff, and he's in Matt Smith right now, and he keeps complaining. I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I did watch it when I was in high school.
Stuff. When you say the old stuff, that means
but like the older new stuff, right?
Okay.
From the reboot.
Older new Who.
William keeps complaining about Doctor Who, and I'm like, yeah, it is silly. It's a silly show.
Yeah.
But it had heart, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Wait. Is there a trailer for Best Served Cold? First Law is the it's so good. You don't even know. I will say though, not a lot happens in the first book. It's really, really good character building, and the characters are fantastic. But the first book does kind of just end without anything happening, and but it's worth it. Book 2 is phenomenal. And book 3 is real good too. So, I will say the first book is not perfect, but you stick with it. You stick together for the kids. the characters are so compelling. You keep going.
Nice.
And William doesn't know what he's talking about. What trailer? You saw the trailer on YouTube for what? What was the last thing Mark was talking about? Oh, Wes Anderson. Got it. Okay, I missed that. Sorry, there's a lot of comments going on right now. The Wes Anderson movie looks really good. The something conspiracy, whatever it is. And we've got what's his bucket in a Wes Anderson movie? The squirrely guy. And people are real excited for that. I've actually kind of been avoiding trailers because I'm if it's Wes Anderson, I'm gonna watch it, and I kind of want to just go in naked, you know. Scare the other children in the theater.
I don't think that's legal. Yeah, you're gonna get removed from the premises.
I know. See,
got that.
See, please tell William he's dumb. Okay, tell William he's a dum. Glocta is so compelling. Man, what a great character.
Yeah. So this is.
I still haven't read the sequel trilogy, and I know people love those. So I've read the First Law trilogy and Best Curved. I've said it every time. Best Served Cold, and I need to read the other standalones and the sequel trilogy. That might get you arrested.
The Phoenician scheme.
The Phoenician scheme. Yeah, and it's got the squirrely guy.
I don't know what squirrely guys you're talking about.
The awkward
Willem
kid.
Dafoe. Benicio del Toro, Michael Cera. He's the squirrely guy?
Look at him. He looks like a squirrel. He's a squirrely boy. He's a squirrely guy.
Okay.
Sure. I guess you're talking about the Phoenician scheme, maybe?
Phoenician scheme, yes.
Phoenician.
Yeah, Phoenician.
Yes,
The horrible
I've heard
pronunciation.
people love the Heroes and Red Country. I'm looking forward to reading them. But people keep putting other books in front of me and demanding that I read them, so I haven't gotten to them yet.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to read Deathstalker out of spite. Okay? I'm going to read it. I'm going to give it the worst review you've ever heard. Those are squirrely cheeks. Okay. Yeah. Anything? I mean, Murderbot's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to complain. Just good old fun sci-fi bot fighting stuff. I love it.
I'm really digging it. I like the dynamic that they're building between the group. That the one guy in particular wants to see these service bots as individuals, and Murderbot is like, no, I'm not. You can't see me as an individual.
I
right?
don't want you to think of me as human. I don't like humans.
Yeah.
I don't like eye contact. This episode was fun too. This episode with him malfunctioning and running on low power, and him hallucinating about the TV show and talking to I will do anything you say, Captain. And
Yeah.
That was really good. That was really good.
fun stuff. I was a little bit afraid that they were going to make him less cool to have the other people come in and save him, but he basically saves himself, and she helps a little bit with the I mean, she does save him, and I was okay with it.
Yeah.
But I was afraid it was going to be like, girl power, and it was just like cliche stuff, and it ended up actually being really good.
Yeah.
$1.99 for Mark Cluck. I'm feeling attacked here. Look, no, that's the problem. Like I'm not actually mad at you for recommending books, but I feel like I'm drowning in books I need to read.
Yep.
And that's my fault, right? I stopped reading in high school and college. Well, it was high school's fault because all of my teachers were pedos. That wanted me to read about sex. So I'm making up for lost ground, and I know there's a whole bunch that I need to read. So I appreciate, as much as it also annoys me, I appreciate the recommendations, because I really loved Warrior's Apprentice. It was a great book. Wes Anderson got grandfathered into being allowed to have a cinematic style when everyone else got railroaded into assembly line styles. Yeah, he's one of the...
Finish.
And now everybody acts like his movies... Wait. Everybody acts like his movies don't blow. Dude, I like Wes Anderson. Are we gonna fight, Will?
Yeah, I think he's overrated.
I do agree. Not everything he's made is fantastic, but The Grand Budapest Hotel is a masterpiece. I also really like Moonrise Kingdom. It's hilarious, and
I don't think I've seen any of his movies.
And I like the art style. It's very unique, and I wish more people had more stylized styles like him. So
I do like his stylization. I just don't like how everybody is just
fight.
fanboy simping over every single thing he puts out. I'm like, calm down. It's not. Anyway, yeah.
No, I do think he is overrated. I still like him though.
Yeah.
And not everything he's made. I like. I watched. What's the one? What's the mountain with all the president's heads? Rushmore. I was not a big fan of Rushmore, and I know everyone loves that one. I just didn't get it. Wasn't for me, and I thought that the underwater one was okay. I thought it was like visually stunning. I didn't think the story was very good, and I think that that's his own hubris. Like, he does kind of get, because he's grandfathered in. He's kind of got the Brandon Sanderson problem now of like no one tells him no, and his movie's always going to look fantastic and be entertaining but the story isn't always great.
Yeah.
Like what's the asteroid one? I actually did. I actually did like
Asteroid City?
I liked Asteroid City more than I thought I was going to. I like, for the most part, I was like, I don't really know where the story is going, but then by the end I was like, no, I actually liked that. It was it could have been better though. All right. Recipients. Oh. Sorry, I can't send you a link. I don't have a fourth screen to pull up Discord with. But if William wants to fight, I will. That is a fight that we will have.
Should live stream it. That'd be fun.
Okay. Anything else to say about Murderbot? I know we haven't been talking
really,
about it for 10 minutes.
It's just good.
It was good.
Yeah.
All right, I sent you a link, Bozo.
Yeah.
Nice.
I won't talk about. I have Guy Gabriel K on my list too. Tigra, is that the one that everybody says you need to read first? Do you have the port for a fourth? Yeah, no, I've had 4 working screens. It's either the screen itself or the HDMI cable. Just decided to stop working today, so. Yes, envy my setup. Envy my 4 screens. Tigana. He's on my list too. He's on my list. Let's do some news.
I guess if we were to do something, I am complaining that there's not much murdering. The bot's not murdering much, I guess. I was expecting a rogue bot story, which I'm not disappointed. It's still fun.
Well, he is. He's a rogue bot, but he doesn't want to murder.
Yeah. His name is Murderbot. That's just his name, though. That's not his purpose or.
Gosh, my
Right.
ears itching like crazy.
Actions, yeah.
I've been out in the real world. I've been out in nature, up a canyon in a
Ugh, gross.
cabin, and so I'm all natured out, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gross.
Did you when do you want these memes, Charles? You sent me a bunch of memes,
After we
and
talk about
instead of attaching them to the email, you pasted them into the email. So I have to download them individually, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pull them up.
I don't know why I pasted them. I just moved them over into the email. They should have attached.
Charles sent me an email that says memes for the show. Let's see if these are high quality or if these are garbage. I actually like this. It's pretty good.
Not all of them are memes. I just wanted to visualize first of all what Mr. Milchick would look like as the Doctor, and I thought of it.
I didn't even catch that. I was trying to analyze everything in the background of the TARDIS. I'm like, is there something I'm not catching here?
No,
this is just Mr. Milchick as the
Dude,
Doctor.
did your theater
good. Just
love his cameo in Mission Impossible? Well, I was in a cameo. It's a role.
Yeah.
But I thought he was great. He was great in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. But you could just take his character straight from.
He could literally be Doctor Who.
Him into the Doctor, he would be 10 times
so much better.
Ncuti Gatwa.
So much better than Ncuti Gatwa.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he's gone.
Oh my goodness.
Ncuti Gatwa was gone.
Oh my goodness.
And
William, I did not say that. I said I wasn't looking at his face.
Ncuti Gatwa was gone, and he regenerated into Billy Piper.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, what the hell, man? They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel with that nostalgia. Oh my god!
This is like bringing back Robert Downey Jr. to play.
No.
It literally is. Yeah,
that's the joke.
Yeah.
Someone is.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
hilarious. Oh no! Is that one deleted?
Is this worse? This is much worse though than bringing back Robert Downey Jr.
Well, it's not as bad considering that the Marvel is more way more popular than the Doctor Who, right? But in terms of the franchise itself, I think it is way worse because they've brought her back before several times, and they said that the last one was going to be the last time. But it also makes absolutely no sense in this context.
Well, that's
she didn't even. Yeah, she didn't.
That's
even
the joke. In terms of Star Wars, this is like if Darth Vader randomly came back, but then he takes off his helmet and it's actually Mace Windu. And then someone else reposted it and said, in Marvel terms, this is like if Doom was in an Avengers movie and removed his mask only to reveal Robert Downey Jr. Wait, that they're doing that.
Yep.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe she was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
The problem is this is definitely just nostalgia, which is ridiculous.
All right, William. Doctor Who's a good show, and you've got to stick up your butt, okay?
Oh, we lost him. Oh, he's back.
Wait, what did
You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you. Well, I guess we win that argument for today.
That was easy. He could not stand up against our facts and logic.
William Richards destroyed with facts and logic.
Yep. But no, Milchek would have been fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I actually really like this.
Yeah.
How many of these did you send me?
Oh, that's good.
I made like 3. Yeah.
These are good. These are pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I would absolutely take it. David, you didn't watch the episode, right?
I did not. His daughter comes back.
Huh? They accidentally made it super pro-life, too.
They did.
Wait.
It's somewhat based.
Okay, I know this is a Photoshop here, but the top one is the doctor's daughter from the doctor's daughter episode, which is not really his daughter. But that one at the bottom is his, I think it's his granddaughter, is the original.
Yes, it's his granddaughter.
And this one is his fake daughter.
Uh-huh.
So in this episode, in the last 2 episodes, he has a daughter with Belinda Chandra. He's in a heterosexual dream world dystopian relationship with Belinda Chandra, and they have a child together. But it was only part of the wish, and it's a Time Lord, half human, half Time Lord child, and the Rani doesn't like that because she's racist, so she wants to. Actually, there was one kind of interesting part that I did like about the episode, where they said that the genetic bomb that destroyed all of the Time Lords made them all sterile. And
They said that they were sterile from the beginning. They said Time Lords have always been sterile.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I rewatched it. I rewatched it to make sure because
it was the bomb that destroyed all of the Time Lords also made them sterile, and that the bi-generation, which I hate, was their natural response to compensate for the sterility. So I still hate bi-generation, but this makes it less stupid. Like, it's like, okay, that's not the worst explanation. $10 from Mark Clark. She's no Sydney Sweeney, but I wouldn't have thrown Billie Piper out of the bed back in the day. No, I really like Billie Piper. I think she's fantastic as Rose. I think making her the Doctor is ridiculous.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And it's more than just making her the face of the Doctor, because, Peter Capaldi even was in Doctor Who before he played the Doctor, right? He was in the
guy in
Pompeii episode, and they talk about that, and they say, "Oh yeah,
I guess I just latched on to a familiar face, a comforting face, and that's what I regenerated into."
But that's not what this looks like. It is, because he turns into Billie Piper,
Rose,
and she's like,
hello. She says her
like
line,
she knows who she is. Which makes absolutely no sense.
But this whole season has been like meta like that. It's bizarre.
Been awful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
The actual plot of this episode was ridiculous. Absolutely stupid. Did you notice, Charles? Your mic's making bad noises again.
Yep.
But so in part 1, they said because the guy creating the Wish world is so racist that he's incapable of seeing disabled people. right?
Yeah.
So they're literally invisible to him, but they still exist, and they're walking around, and he physically cannot see them, and most of the other people living in the dream world don't notice them either, unless they're like they run head on into each other. And then in this episode, the tranny Rose, that is Donna's daughter, he wills her back into existence by
is that black lady?
When they open up the time doors from the time hotel, they open up a bunch of doors from the time hotel into the unit room. It destabilizes the wish, and tranny Rose reappears, and he says, "Oh, he was such a vile person. He was incapable of thinking that you could exist, so you didn't." And you're like, but that's the same thing you said about the disabled people, but they existed.
Yeah.
You could see them, you just didn't pay attention to them. It was like psychic paper, you know? But she pops into existence.
Yeah,
it was very inconsistent.
Also, if you can't be seen by your oppressors, but you still exist in the world, that's a pretty excellent convenience for a revolt.
They don't do anything with it. They don't do anything interesting with it.
You can do so much stuff. But they don't do anything. They just sit there and take it because they can't be seen.
They kept teasing it like he was going to go rescue his gay lover who's trapped in hell. They brought him up in the previous episode. Don't even address it in this episode. They have one scene where so the scene where the time hotel lady watched him dancing with a guy. That's his gay lover from an episode in season 1. He gets trapped in hell. And and also, remember, we talked about her last time. He said he was going to come back and say goodbye, and he completely abandons her. He went out for cigarettes and never came back, you know? And turns out she was in love with him this whole time. She's been trying to find him. And she walks in on him dancing with his gay lover. And then she rebounds with the hotel clerk and gets pregnant. She was okay in 5 for sure. Are we talking about Billie Piper? I like Billie Piper. I heard Sydney Sweeney was selling her bath water. She's not selling her bath water, okay? She's selling soap made with her bath water.
Yeah.
And it's through Dr. Squatch.
No way. Is that real?
Yeah, no, I saw the headline. I was like,
yeah, Doctor Who is canceled.
Gonna...
There's going to be one, like I think they're saying it's going to be a Christmas special. There's going to be one special where they're bringing back David Tennant and Rose together,
because of course,
and then it's gone. Yeah, the show is canceled. Indefinite hiatus is the word they're using, and that is the problem though, because BBC they don't have to rely on profits. They are funded by taxpayer dollars, so they don't need their shows to be successful. But it's Disney does. Disney, as the distributor, thought they were going to make money off this, and they were wrong. So they're dropping it. So BBC will keep churning this out if they can find a stooge to host it, and that's going to be tough.
Yeah. And also, it's very likely to get.
If he wished the world perfect, why would they still exist? Yeah, the transgenders literally ceased to exist, but disabled people were just invisible to him because that was his perfect world. And also, it's also funny though, because what's her face, Ruby Sunday, says like, you actually did make a pretty good world.
Yeah,
you tried to make everyone happy, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's kind of what we were saying last week. Look, I'm pretty racist. I promise I see them. I wouldn't pay for a Costco
$85 a year.
don't have to shop with them. Oh, that's the worst thing you've ever said, William. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, shoot.
Hopefully it's not. Yeah. It'll be on. Yeah, a break. It'll come back. It will. But it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's such a shame. I honestly like. This is great.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Heck yes.
I would.
I'd
down
love
for
to see
that.
I like representation. Okay, I like good representation. This would be fantastic.
I'm impartial to representation. I get how it would make it's important to some people. It's not nearly as important as they think it is.
Yeah.
But this is just
Right.
to show, like, that's not our objections. It's not that he's black. It's that the actor Chugat was not good.
I'm gonna be dead. Okay, so it turns out they it was also really stupid. Because in the last episode they needed the doubt to exist, so they created a wish world that was inherently unstable so that they could break apart the fabric of space. And if humans' doubt can shatter their their understanding of reality, then
And
a
the
Time Lord's doubt
would
can shatter
time.
actual reality. And so they set up all this thing to get Chudigatwa to break the world apart. And then he gets saved by Time Hotel Lady, and the world breaks apart and resets. And it turns out she's just been doing this on a loop. And she says, yeah, if she does this enough times, the world will get thinner and thinner and thinner, and then the world will break apart, and then she can find the Omega. And you're like, but last episode, you said you needed the Doctor to break it apart. Like, they changed they were like, okay, last episode, it was all setting it up so that the Doctor would break apart reality. And then in this episode, they forgot about that and said, no, she's just putting this whole thing on a time loop. And if she does that enough times, then the world will break apart. But you already broke apart the world in the last episode, so you don't need to continue the time loop. It was they can't even keep track of their own 2-part episode. Like it was just complete nonsense. And so he has to fix it. He has to fix the whole thing, but they don't want to lose the fake baby. It was incredibly pro-life. Belinda Chandra was like, no, even if this baby is fake and I've only known her for literally 1 day, I still love her. And you're like, oh, so like if a child has, consciousness, it's, like,
Yep.
that it has value out, irregardless of viability, like.
Well, they'll say no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because
If you break the wish world, then the child won't exist and it's not viable outside of the wish womb. It was shockingly pro-life.
Yeah.
it was.
It's surprising how often that happens, that people accidentally make pro-life arguments without even realize what they're doing.
Yeah. Can't emphasize enough that we don't dislike black people. America loves cool black people. Yeah,
yeah.
and hates the
Theater
the
kids. of all
theater
races.
kids, regardless of color.
Absolutely.
They pulled a Watt for sure. What was the point? Okay, so they shove Belinda Chandra and her fake baby in a Faraday cage outside of time and space. It's like a temporal Faraday cage. They shove her outside of time and space so that the Doctor can destroy the wish world, and save the baby. And then they do that. None of it was exciting. It was literally just people. And this episode was like over an hour long, and it was just people talking the whole time. And then you get to the villain, and she monologues for 30 minutes. It was so incredibly boring.
So he destroys the wish world except for the kid? Murders everybody in the wish world except for the...
No. So the wish, because he's a lazy wisher, he doesn't have a good imagination. He had to use real people to fill in his wish world.
Gotcha.
And for some reason, they tried to explain it too, because the baby is the god of wishes, and if you kiss a baby and you do a wish, then it comes true. But then they said, like, because he was holding the baby, he became like in charge of the whole wish world. It was so freaking weird, man.
Yeah, that's odd.
And half the time they did their wishes, they never used the word wish. The doctor kisses the baby and says, "No more wishes." And you're like, that's not a wish, guys. That's not how wishes work.
Yeah.
Okay? That's one of them technicalities the genie would hang you up on, okay? Kids belong in zoos where they can't flush entire rolls of toilet paper down the toilet. Yeah. Yeah, my kids belong in the zoo for sure. Okay.
The fight with Omega felt like a Disney Channel TV show. It was just really bad acting, really bad everything. It wasn't cool. Whereas you compare that with Matt Smith's first episode with Clara,
Yeah.
where he goes against the sun, and it's awesome.
Can you fix your microphone? It's buzzing like crazy. I think it's going through the wrong mic, Joe.
Yep.
Is that better?
No.
Nope. Nothing changed.
So this
Nothing?
is ridiculous.
My wife pulled up that scene where he regenerates into Rose Tyler, and he's wearing that outfit there. And she's like, "What the heck? They put him in a dress." And I was like, "It's not a dress, it's a kilt." And then I looked over and I'm like, "Oh no, that's a dress." He's in a dress with a vest over the dress that matches the dress, and it's got like an external pocket.
It is a kilt that has been modified to look like a dress.
The sides of the kilt come up like a cut of a dress.
But they're saying, no, what do you mean it's a dress? It's a traditional kilt, okay?
Nothing about that is traditional. But yeah, my wife is always critiquing costuming, and she was like, "What the crap is that?"
Yeah, it's bad.
No, that is a horrible, horrible costume. Is this better microphone? Did I fix it?
Yes,
that's
good
so much better.
I have no idea. Okay, all right, whatever. That's magic. I don't know how to work that. On that note, though, they tried to do a really cool. They had to have. I don't know. It was really weird. It bothered me. There was a moment when he came back from the hotel. They were trying to make him look really cool as he walked down the stairs to go meet his wife and kid or something. And that I feel like that struck me out to me a lot, because the editing was cool, but there was no reason for him to be acting cool. He didn't do anything worthwhile, and his outfit just made the whole thing look stupid. And his face. Yeah. It didn't. I feel like it sums up a lot of what they're doing. They're just trying to put the things together without having any meaning to it. They had this Dark Omega, first Time Lord of them all, which on paper sounds like a cool villain, but they don't do anything to make him into a cool villain.
Oh, yeah. They finally explained the bone creatures to the bone creatures, David, are the Langoliers. They eat up things that aren't right. And there's just bone boys that are in the underrealm, and the underrealm is a world of possibilities. And so because the Omega was trapped and imprisoned in the underworld, he became the thing that people feared about him. So he's no longer a Time Lord. He becomes a mad god, and he's just this giant like mummy. That's it. It's so dumb.
And the Langoliers eat him, I presume.
It's the Bone Boy Langoliers. Man, if you haven't seen Stephen King's The Langoliers, please don't. It's really bad.
I love it, man.
$4.99 from Mark Clark. Since my birthday was Friday, we should Conan this week. Yes. That might be problematic for me. I think these guys might be able to Conan. I don't think I can.
If it doesn't happen this week, it's not going to happen next week.
for sure.
Problem.
It's not going to happen next week.
Because we got our family coming.
We need to play. We do need to play Conan. My wife has planned a whole bunch of things because she broke up her maternity leave so that she could have some weeks in the summer off, and so it might not be possible this week. I will see.
I mean, I'm available. I know that, but yeah. Next after
we do desperately. It's been like over a month since we played Conan, so we need to do it. What else was
tomorrow.
stupid? There was another stupid thing in this Doctor Who episode.
And one other? There
was lots of things that were stupid.
I thought it was dumb how easily he defeated him. This is supposed to be the god of the Time Lords that they all banded together and trapped him in the underworld.
He just shoots him with a gun. Yeah.
He grabbed a random piece of technology.
It wasn't a random piece of technology. That was the Thermogator. I can't remember what that's the thing that he was dragging around this entire season.
Yeah, I recognized it.
Filling it with the power of 1 billion suns. I don't. Yeah, it was very dumb.
It was commonplace for him to pull it out of his armpit at the beginning of the season. He was just,
do we have any
super commonplace device?
Anime followers here? I'm not opposed to watching an anime. I don't seek it out, but if people recommend a good one to me, I'll watch the heck out of that, baby.
I used to be an anime fan, but lately I just can't stand the style of the conversations. I don't know, the way that they talk.
I used to be opposite. I used to be adamantly against anything anime, and then I've come around, but I'm not very cultured.
Yeah, no,
so,
I have nothing against anime. I do wish the internal monologue for most anime was cut in half. I think there's way too much I'm thinking like Death Note is good. It's also you could trim that, it's I'm thinking this and I'm thinking this and this is why I'm doing my power, and you're but I'll take it over Western media right now. So
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. It's got its weaknesses too, but I think it's got more strengths than weaknesses. Yeah,
it is so broad, but they have
don't give me into that. Don't give me into that freaky harem fantasy, okay?
Yeah.
I know what you anime freaks like.
Full Metal Alchemist is a pretty good one.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist is fantastic. Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's a recommendation.
I have not watched the original one that got ahead of the books and made up the ending. So. But Brotherhood was real good.
So another thing that I heard about Doctor Who, and I don't know, I just saw a headline, is they made changes again to the Timeless Child lore, I guess. Did the Black Fugitive Doctor or whatever her name was show up this time?
I think they just said that Omega created all of the Time Lords, but also they were created. But I don't think that actually changed anything because Time Lords existed before they stole the regeneration power from the Timeless Child. So I don't think it actually changed anything.
Okay.
Do not watch Perfect Blue, okay? I was way too young to watch Perfect Blue. I found that my friend found that in his brother's anime drawer. It's really good. It's very inappropriate for a middle schooler to watch. Okay.
Oh boy.
There's nudity. It's very very adult. Very psychologically trippy. A lot of people really like it. It's a good story. I was not ready for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of nudity as well, but I know it's a classic. We were not supposed to watch that. We got in trouble. We got in trouble for watching Perfect Blue.
Who's this we? I don't.
It was me and my friend.
Gotcha.
That was Enoch.
Ah.
We stole that out of Daniel's anime drawer.
Yeah, that checked out.
We got in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Note's pretty good. First half. Second half kind of sucks. But
I know a lot of people don't like the live action adaptation, but I think it's a pretty good movie.
oh, the Netflix movie?
I think so, yeah.
I will say it made some. I did watch that.
William Dafoe.
Was William? Oh, was he the
Plays
voice of
the devil
Ryuk?
guy. Yeah.
I know everyone hates that movie. There was one point in it though that I think was an improvement on the anime. They made. I mean, I think there was a lot of missteps in that movie. Okay, it's a bizarre adaptation. There was one point where he actually makes a smarter choice than Light does in Death Note. And I can't remember the specific, but it was like this. It was him deciding to kill a person, and in the anime, when he makes that choice, I was like, why would you do that? That's immediately going to tell the people who you are. And in the movie, he says that, and I'm like, wait, that's what I thought when I was watching. Like, I thought that was a really stupid choice for Light to make. And so I liked that they changed that in the movie. The movie's got problems.
I didn't finish the anime, so
Akira.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched Akira.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not opposed to anime. I think there's some real good stuff out there. Anyway, we're not talking about anime. We're talking about Doctor Who. Anything else? Oh, it was so just garbage. What a
I think they kill the bad guy halfway through the episode, and the rest of the episode is just him saving Poppy, which is
oh yeah, because they save her. They save the baby, but then she disappears and they forget her, and it's because they're in a different universe, and so he uses his regeneration powers to abandon literally everyone and travel to the original universe. And his fake baby with Belinda Chandra wasn't a fake baby. It's just not his. So the reason that she wanted to go home this entire season was because she was trying to get back to her real baby.
Huh.
And
it was a different...
It doesn't... if you're wondering, is that kind of confusing? Yes, it doesn't make any sense. None of it adds up. So that's it. He regenerates and it was dumb. Also, doesn't say goodbye to Ruby Sunday. Just leaves.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care about her. But I also thought it was ridiculous how his conversation with the previous doctor, she just appears.
Oh yeah, they brought back what's her face.
Yeah.
They brought back Lady Doctor to have a conversation with Chudigatwa about how great she is.
Wait, they brought back Jodie Whittaker, Doctor?
They brought back Jodie Whittaker because he was phasing between universes. She just appears inside the TARDIS and has a conversation with Chudigatwa about how great she is, and then leaves.
Okay.
Well,
that's the point of the conversation is, wow, I'm a really cool person. I really like you. Everyone loves you, Chudigatwa. You're a really cool doctor. I was an even cooler doctor. Wow, I hope the next one is just as woke and stupid as you. That's literally the conversation they had. It's dumb. Anyway, Nathan Fielder learned how to pilot a 737.
Dude, this guy is certified insane.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Have you guys seen The Other Guys?
Other guys
with Will Ferrell, Will Ferrell and the burger guy, the hamburger guy.
Yeah.
Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg.
From this movie, it looks good. Actually,
it's a buddy cop movie with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, and it's one of my favorite comedies of all time. And there's a scene where he starts Mark Wahlberg starts tap dancing. And Will Ferrell asks him, like, where did you learn to tap dance? He's like, yeah, I learned how to tap dance in the Bronx so I could make fun of all the gays. And he's like, you learned to tap dance ironically? He's like, yeah. Nathan Fielder learned how to fly a 737 ironically, okay?
Didn't just learn. He went through all the certifications.
He is a legitimate pilot
Yeah.
for a joke. I love it. Oh
Yeah.
my
Well,
goodness.
it was a joke, but also like I also think this is the first time in his entire career Nathan Fielder has been earnest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he actually cared about this.
Yeah.
He was actually trying to solve a problem that he thinks is a real issue, and he used the budget of his comedy TV show to address it, which is freaking insane. He is a crazy man. So funny. You gotta watch The Rehearsal.
It's really good.
Yeah. This
What
last episode was
a ride.
such
Someone
a
figured
delight.
it out too, because they found his name in as it registered under all the pilots,
wow.
and they're like,
wow.
I know he was working on another episode of The Rehearsal, and I know that he's been piloting planes, but this says he's licensed to fly a 737. What is going on? People figured it out.
Wow.
Reddit figured out the plot twist of this season.
That's
I bet he got really good grades at one of Canada's best flight schools.
One of Canada's best flights. That's good.
I'm watching The Rehearsal as soon as David watches Top Gun Maverick. He did.
I did.
David watched
It's
Top Gun
fantastic,
Maverick
man.
like last week.
It was a couple months ago, but yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Dude,
You're the
what
one
a
that needs to
freaking
watch
boss.
Maverick.
What a boss. I love that he's like, well,
Yeah.
so I can get licensed to do it, but the problem is no airline is going to consider hiring you unless you have 3,000 hours practice. And he's like, well, I only have like 800. It's like, okay, so what if we hire actors?
Yeah.
What if we hire actors
You can't have
to
paying
fly
customers.
And he's
to
rehearsing
fly
with
as
them.
passengers? I don't need to get hired by an airline company. I can go buy a plane.
Yeah.
He was
The
great.
dude is insane. He's a crazy boy. He's a
And
crazy
he's rehearsing
man.
with them what drinks they're gonna request. I just
Yeah.
love this guy's the whole thing.
Okay,
Just-
your role is you're gonna fly in a plane, and you're gonna order ginger ale and a pack of peanuts, and then you're gonna get off the plane. Do you think you can handle this this casting?
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of stuff Chudy Gatwa should start
Right.
auditioning for.
Dude, what a just.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that whole opening segment of this last episode was great. You know, like you said, he's going through that auditioning thing, like telling them their lines, and then he gives them a little warning, waiver. You know, hey, I'm gonna be the one that's physically flying this plane. Do you have any apprehension about that? And everybody's like, no, we're good. And then one guy's like,
Actors, am I right?
yeah, actor,
Like,
whatever.
No,
And then it went nuts.
but you just said you would do it too.
Right, yeah. It's hilarious. Again, it's another commentary on Hollywood, you know, like what all these actors will do. They make out with these people in front of their boyfriends, you know.
Oh, yeah,
they
he cried.
put their lives in danger.
He cried this episode again.
Yeah. And then I'm like, that whole segment was going, I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. And then it's like 2 years earlier, I'm like, holy crap, he did.
I've been learning
And
how to
yet
fly
compare that-
planes for
It's
2
so
years.
good.
For
Compare
a
that to
joke.
other actors for The Little Mermaid who can't learn to swim.
Right? Talk about
Like,
researching the role. Come on.
These are the
If you're
actors.
cast
these are the
as a
people we need in
mermaid
Hollywood.
and you can't swim, just look to Nathan Fielder, man,
Yeah.
as your inspiration.
He's not even a pilot. He's the producer of a comedy TV show,
Mhm.
and he decided for funsies, I'm going to learn how to
To
fly
become
a
a
plane.
pilot.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that he
I love it. I love it.
the final scene of him deleting his psych eval.
Yeah. That psych evaluation was so
good.
good. When he was first talking to the lady, is like, okay, so this is kind of the evaluation you would do, and she's like, oh, okay, so okay, I get how it goes. But which one would you
so
do?
So if someone struggled with this test, it would mean that they have autism? No, it would be a good indicator that they might have autism.
Yeah.
Are these questions normally this hard? Or
Yeah, it was so good.
What a
It was hilarious.
Absolute masterpiece of a TV show.
And then the very ending, the little cherry on top of the episode is it goes back to the wings of voice of
the wings.
Yeah.
The
wings of voice.
Wings
Whatever the
of
stupid
voice.
show is.
And it's them singing Evanescence. Oh,
Hey, at least it's not a royalty-free music anymore, right?
So
they got that one song they
good.
Had to syndicate.
That's what I love about it. Like he is the master of that uncomfortable comedy. Like I want to see just how far I can get a person to step outside of their comfort zone just because they're on camera. Like I'm going to see the power of the camera is magical, and I can get people to agree to insane things just because I'm filming them, right? He gets these business owners to say yes to horrible ideas, but it's while the joke is temporarily on them, they are the butt of the joke. He almost instantly turns himself into the scapegoat, right? Like like even these people that that he's making fun of, he genuinely cares about.
Yes.
And he actually goes out of his way, even after, making fun of some people, to help their businesses in real life.
Yeah.
I think he's a great guy. I have just nothing but respect for Nathan Fielder. Okay, book series priority is for Kozagan, Deathstalker, and then Murderbot. I've already read 1 and then 2 of those. So, all right. So read the Vors game first, and then Deathstalker. Okay, I'll do it. I've already read the first 2 Murderbots, so I'm caught up. I won't have to get back to Murderbot until next year. But I want to. I'll probably get to it earlier than that. George R. R. Martin basically admitted he's never going to finish Winds of Winter.
For the umpteenth time, yeah.
But, it's more optimistic than that, right? I'm summarizing it. The problem is, no one has been saying that he doesn't care.
Right.
What we've all been saying is, unless you change your priorities, it's never going to get done.
Right.
You have your fingers in too many pies, and you're caring about too many other things to be able to finish this thing that people really want you to finish. It is funny, and it is easy to drag him. I also really respect him. Reading The Hedge Knight, it was beautiful. It is a beautiful story. I'm super excited for that adaptation. I think George R. R. Martin is a magnificent author. And it's just crazy. It's been almost 15 years. Right? And I'm sure that that time compounds, right? It makes it psychologically even more difficult. It's already been 15 years. What's one more year going to do, right?
Right.
So I don't envy his position. But when he comes out and says, I kind of like what he's saying here. Look, the problem is I do care about all of these other things. And you're like, yeah, that's what we've been saying. No one's saying you're a horrible person. Just shut up, lock yourself in a room and finish Winds of Winter. We've been saying, hey, unless you reprioritize, it kind of feels like you're never going to finish Winds of Winter.
Yeah.
And then he says exactly that. Yeah. So
he's lost interest in finishing it. I think a big factor of that is the show, because they got ahead of his writing, and there was severe backlash to the last season. And now he's stuck in a hole because the ending to that season was how he planned to end it, and he's got to make it better than the show, or else it's all a big giant waste of time. and I think there's pressure on that, and there's no really incentive for him to finish it. So
yeah.
Who's got the Devin Erickson post about George R. R. Martin?
It was way too long.
Okay.
Jeez. Okay, that guy is long-winded. I like what he's. I'll bring it up.
It's the best read of that situation that has ever happened.
I gotta scroll down a bit, dude. Devin Erickson. I like him. I still need to read. Oh no, there isn't an audiobook version of his book yet, right? He's working on it.
I believe they've got it out. His second wife got cancer, and so that held some things up. But
okay.
I believe they released it.
Well, I'll be reading that one soon too, because I respect the guy. But sometimes I'll start reading a tweet, and then I click the show more, and I'm like, please just be like 3 paragraphs, and it's like 20, and I'm like, ugh. I'm on my phone. I don't have time to read this right now.
I got 3 kids, man. Like, what am I supposed to?
Yeah.
And it's always good. I want to keep reading, but I'm like, dude, brevity is key here.
Yep.
He's very, very long-winded, but like on point all the time. He's been tweeting about Trump though, so I can't find his tweet on George R. R. Martin. Sum it up. What did he say?
Basically, George R. R. Martin isn't actually a nihilist asshole. He's trying to be an aspirational writer.
Yeah.
But because he's a boomer socialist, his own ideology prevents him from finishing the book because the conclusion would have to be aspirational, and those two things coincide, or they
contradict each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It sounds way better than when he writes it.
Right. He's a little bit better with words. Some might call him an author. All right. So what did you want to argue about first? Did you want to argue about Joe Abercrombie or Doctor Who, or one of the other plethora of things you're wrong about?
I'll leave it up to you, man.
Did you watch? Have you been watching this new season of Doctor Who?
You're still muted.
All right.
Sorry, talking to the pretty bartender.
You're good.
Can I get anything cold and local?
I guess it's down, so I don't have any like local beer.
I think he meant to mute himself there.
Yeah.
Fingers and pies sounds unsanitary. Yeah, it is a little bit.
Unless you want a plum.
I swear, not really. I'm only going to read completed series. Yeah. That's the thing. I started reading all the spin-offs. Fire and Blood is fantastic, and The Hedge Knight is really good. I want to start reading A Song of Ice and Fire against all of my better judgment. I'm like, he's so good at writing, though. I kind of want to start reading him.
Yeah.
All right, boys, I'm back. I'm sorry. Let's see. You said Doctor Who. No, my enjoyment of Doctor Who. I've been taking them in order. I've been basically watching like one a day, but I've been watching the Disparu reviews, and man, what an absolute catastrophe! Like, I know that show's been dead for like 7 seasons now, but like
the current season you're talking about.
Yes, but man, they keep finding ways to dig through the bedrock in order to bury that thing even deeper.
Every time I don't think it can get worse, it gets worse.
Yeah.
And they'd been teasing. Well, like the Billy Piper reveal got leaked. There were a couple YouTubers saying like, "Hey, this is what I've heard. The next Doctor is going to be Rose," and everyone's like, "That is so idiotic. There's no possible way that leak can be true." It was dismissed by everyone, and it actually happened.
Oh.
The only way I can conclude they came up with that is they took a poll, and they said, "Who is the one character that you guys like the most?" And the winner of the poll was Christopher Eccleston. And they asked Christopher Eccleston, and his response was filled with all sorts of expletives.
The only way I will go back on the show is if you fire every single one of the higher ups. That's what he said, and they said,
Yep.
and then I'd love to come back on.
Yep.
So they went, okay, well, you could have just said no, and then they said, okay, so the number 2 spot on the poll is Billy Piper, and that was how they made that choice. There wasn't a single bit of narrative insight considered in the slightest.
No, it doesn't make sense though, because she came back as Rose. Like, not as a doctor using her face.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do we know that? Better question, do they know that?
That's what it seems like.
I don't think they know.
They probably don't know. It was probably just a cheeky nod with the dialogue.
I think it was a cheeky nod.
I don't think it was a cheeky nod. I think it was a desperate Hail Mary.
Oh, it's definitely that too.
I mean, how she reacted when them regenerated into Rose, and she's just like, hello, right into the camera. Oh wait, speaking of that, did they ever explain why the Time Lady broke the fourth wall?
No. It's never explained. But the Ronnie constantly breaks the fourth wall until she reveals who she is, and then she stops.
Another Time Lord?
Yeah, the Ronnie is Mrs. Flood, who has been breaking the fourth wall for 2 seasons, talking to camera, talking to the audience, and she bi-generates into a younger version of herself and reveals, I'm a Time Lady and I'm the Ronnie, which is funny because a Time Lady implies that Time Lords are gendered.
Right.
So why does the Time Lord keep regenerating into women?
Yeah.
An excellent question. I genuinely, like, one of the reasons I find bi-generation so fascinating is because the entire show is just this, like, lefty shithole, just like every terrible idea they can muster. I'm sorry, I said the word. That they can fathom. They just throw out there randomly.
Yeah.
And then with bi-generation, they turn to the one right-wing nerdy money guy in the room and it's like, hey, do you also want to get in on ruining this character? And the money guy was like, yes, let's make 2 of them so we can make double the revenue. And nobody was like, that's not how that works, buddy. But nobody thinks about anything in this show, so it's just kind of how everything plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show's horrible.
There's a better timeline where I want to see like an ultra right-wing based Doctor Who. I feel like that would be just like an utterly fascinating like inversion. Like even if we just did it for
that's what they love doing. So they love doing like historical episodes. Like they do a Robin Hood one, they do a Van Gogh one, which you liked, right? You liked the Van Gogh episode?
I thought that was great.
It's fantastic. I cried watching that episode.
Yeah.
So they do these episodes with historical figures. I think they need to do one where the Doctor goes and meets Karl Marx.
That would be excellent.
Navarro or something.
And he keeps trying to help him. Okay, so the theme of the episode could be like, "Hey, dude, like, why are you so miserable?" Like, he's like, "Oh, I need money." And he's like, "Okay, well, you could get a job." And he said, "No, I don't want a job. I want to go to the library and read and write about how the state owes me money." And he says, "Okay, well, and maybe there's an alien in the library that's like sucking him in, and that's why he's abandoning his family." And it cuts to his family, and his wife is so deprived of nutrients that she stops producing breast milk, and she's feeding one of her babies, and nothing's coming out, and so she starts bleeding from her breast into her child's mouth.
Oh, that's fairly appropriate.
It's very visual. Wow.
Yeah, and he's like, "Is there an alien doing this?" And she says, "No, it's just my husband. He's a dick." And then he goes to like his rich friend and he says like, "Hey, what's going on?" It's like, "Oh, I gave him a bunch of money to help his family." And then he goes to Karl Marx, and Karl Marx says, "Oh yeah, I spent all that money on whores, and I don't want to get a job." And then the Doctor kills Karl Marx, and that would be great.
10 out of 10 episode. I love it already.
My 2 were, I want to see Napoleon and I want to see Jesus.
Napoleon would be good.
Dude, yeah.
Also, Jesus could kind of work.
I'm surprised they haven't done a Jesus episode already.
It could be like it would be like Ben-Hur, but with Doctor Who. He helps him lift up the cross and walk to. He gives him a drink of water, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking
he's
like
got to be one of the wise men too, right?
Doctor Who Doctor Who creates the new star. Oh, they already did that.
Yeah,
sorry.
Which of the Bible books would Doctor Who have written?
Which of the Bible books? Songs of Solomon.
Songs of Solomon. No. Modern Doctor Who, yeah, maybe.
I'm just I'm thinking what would be the most like the thing that would melt the faces off of the BBC the most, and I can only assume it
Joseph.
would be
Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's got to be some kind of like sciencey thing.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi, literally changing color,
having trippy dreams, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's an alien that causes these weird.
Make Napoleon
dreams.
a black lesbian in a wheelchair.
A tall black lesbian in a wheelchair because he's famously short.
I was thinking like the best way, the way you could do it, that would melt the most faces at the BBC. Would it just be like play it perfectly straight up? Just have like Jesus tell Doctor Who, who's like struggling, like it's going to be okay, or like some kind of implication that like
Jesus
God
could fix the timeless children.
Yep.
With his resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Something about you're not the only one who's come back from the dead. I don't know. There's a ton to play around with there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And undoubtedly, if they did it, they would make it Jesus was actually a buffoon who the Doctor like accidentally made into the Messiah by doing a bunch of lame tech stuff, but the people mistook for miracles. But that's the lame
probably
version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is we're if it was written by a super conservative version, that could be good.
I forgot what were we supposed to. I like you too much, Will. Well, I can't remember what we were supposed to fight about.
Doctor Who, and then
you don't like
exceedingly mid First Law.
I do agree. The first book is the weakest, and you stopped reading.
I finished the book.
Which book?
No. You haven't finished book 2 though.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sorry. I've already read like 500 pages of it, and I was like, "That's not an ending. This is like a date."
I do agree. I do agree. Book 1 just ends randomly, but the characters are so good. How do you not like Glokta?
Okay, so there's a thing about characters that is very important to me, and that is there needs to be a sense of danger. And Glokta at no point in the first book is ever in danger. He just constantly has minions around him who just bully people on his behalf. So
I made this mistake too, Mark. Alex Green is not his real name. But
yes, Alex Green is the name of the football player whose image I use for digital blackface.
I called him Alex for like 2 years.
It's fine.
So,
but
yeah. So he's never in danger. Okay, he's got minions around him. But like, I don't know. That's like, he's absolutely in danger in book 2. I think you like book 2.
Okay.
It's solid. I do agree. Book 1 is a little bit weak, but I love the characters so much. It's a good setup for a story, and the book 2 just goes off the rails, and the book 2 blows the rails up. So
it's like, the swordsman guy.
I can't remember his name. Yeah.
The guy who's trying to get with Artie West.
Yeah.
Who ironically is the only. I remember Artie West, Column West. Oh, yeah, by the way, screw that book. Why did we need to ruin Column West?
What did he do that was bad?
Just slap the shit out of his sister?
Well, she was being stupid.
Okay, but like, you know.
Colin West is great. Yeah. It's yes. Colin West is a great character who is flawed, and this is what Joe Abercrombie does. He writes. His characters are very human and very flawed, and frequently not great people, but you like them anyway because they're so realistic. Colin West has a temper. He's a good guy who has a temper that flares up, and yes, he should not have hit his sister. She was being dumb. It was an overreaction, and it's a very important part of his character that comes back later.
Okay, so this is where I feel like I'm somewhat of a hypocrite because, I say all the time I hate how, like in books depicting like a Middle Ages or like a non-current time period, authors feel the need to stick like 2024 progressive liberal ideology onto characters. But then at the same time, I'm very much like, okay, but like also don't go and put like actual like 1300s ideology onto my characters. Like, let's keep them nice and safe around like
somewhere in the middle.
1975, like morality.
Yeah, this doesn't do that. Like, this is very like of the times kind of morality, right? Where,
kind of, but the issue I'm going to have with him and what everybody's going to tell me is like, oh, it's all about the flawed characters is, and then I get to his women characters and I'm like, oh, so like, you're all kind of the, I hate to say the word Mary Sue, but like one step above that.
No, I think I disagree.
Okay, I can only go off of Artie West and the Barbarian Woman, who both times I'm just like, ugh. Like,
they have a lot of flaws. But
do they? Because none of them play out in the first book in any kind of meaningful way.
What's the Barbarian Woman's name?
Edie, Surly.
She was the least interesting character in the whole series. I thought.
I would agree. She's just kind of there doing things, and then anytime she does anything even slightly wrong, the other guy is there to clean it up for her.
But
I also
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I also think like not everyone needs to be equally interesting.
I would agree.
And for the most part, Logan is the interesting part of her story anyway.
And I think that's my biggest problem is Logan is my favorite character, but Logan did fuck all in this book.
He doesn't do anything in the first book. He gets a lot of time to shine though.
Okay,
the other two.
His one thing is the fight where he basically turns into the Bloody Nine. Like I'm assuming that's like a mental transformation and not an actual like physical transformation. But I was like, okay,
mentally,
like perfect. Like this is a dude. Like we can work with this. And then it was over. And then he was falling off roofs again. I was like, ugh. Yeah. So all right, I will give the second book a shot, but I sorry, I did not mean to monopolize your stream with my grievances about
I just gotta
law.
defend it. I gotta defend Joe Abercrombie. So, Best Served Cold is really good, and the main character is a very, very flawed female character who frequently gets in her own way. So, I'm really excited to see those adapted. So,
we love flawed characters.
You want to see while you're here? Do you want to see some stupid Wheel of Time tweets?
Hell yeah, this is like my favorite topic.
Okay, all right. So apparently, the going theory is that the White Cloaks, William, yourself, have an in with Donald Trump, and that's what got the show canceled. What am I missing here?
So Chafail is a friend of mine. Like we disagree on stuff, but like he's a
I know you guys
he's
are
a
friendly.
good guy.
Yeah.
But it was he was making a joke because at one point in that conversation I pretended to be Stephen Miller's burner account.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. There was some decent comedy down there. I feel like if you care to read through it.
But I love that the current tactic is let's bully Apple TV into picking up the series. Because, showing them how insufferable we are as a fandom is definitely gonna, get the ball rolling.
I cannot emphasize enough. First of all, guys, they've not you guys like the people pushing for this. They've been trying to get the show picked up by somebody else since 2023. Like since the end of season 2, Amazon has known that a season 4 is not happening.
Yeah.
So, Sony has been trying to shop this thing around, but what does the pitch for this show look like? Hey, is anybody interested in an $18 million an episode show that's the 100th most popular show on the fiscal year?
That's
and my
consistently lost viewership even during the best season it's ever had.
Yeah. Yes, that's consistently lost viewership, whose half the fan base hates it, and whose showrunner is a complete liability in the press. And at what point does, where do you think this is going? Like, not only is it a money pit, it's also a PR disaster. Like, who is signing on for this?
Well, and here's the thing. Even if you make the show good for these people, half of them will still attack you, right? With the whole, you killed off all of our lesbian characters, right? Even if they get what they want, they're still not happy.
Yeah.
Never enough. It can never be enough.
Never will.
Mark Clark says he finally enjoyed a Dresden book. Did you read book 3? I think he'd read the first 2 and he didn't like them. But I've only read the first one.
Look, if Karen Murphy can get annoying in the first 2 books,
yeah, that's what I've heard.
She comes around, and it's a matter that I think it's kind of realistic in a way. Like, if you were thrown into that scenario, you also would be a little skeptical about like kind of how everything is going on. But like by the time that it's become undeniable that things are a little weird, she's on the team.
I know. I liked her in book 1. Yeah, she was annoying, but like she had reason to be suspicious of Dresden. He they're handcuffed together naked, right? Like
mm-hmm. How do you dislike Susan?
It's a good
sorry, Mark, how? Like what is she too sexy, too sultry Latina, too willing to engage in amorous relationships with our boy? Like Susan is awesome.
Have you seen this one yet, Will? The a better PR plan for Amazon for the Wheel of Time?
I did see this one.
This is hilarious.
Right.
Okay, Amazon PR sucks. Here's what I would have done, because I'm smart. I would put Marcus Rutherford on National Geographic in Sylvania filming with the wolves, okay? I think that choice would be up to National Geographic, not the PR guy for Amazon's 17th most popular television series.
Yeah. Also, National Geographic is owned by Disney.
Which is what I was going to say. Like, if Wheel of Time was owned by Disney, yeah, this would be fine cross-promotional. I mean, it's not like anybody's watching anything on National Geographic. So, like, band them up. But they're going to be like, hey, can we advertise Prime Video for Disney? No, go fuck yourself.
Who reads National Geographic? Old people. They're not going to be interested in your lesbian fantasy.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Marcus on National Geographic, Madeline, centering Aboriginal artists, takes us through Australian art scene and talks about the show. I think that this would absolutely lose viewers. If
Like,
I saw this, I would not watch the show.
I genuinely want to like ask people, what do you guys think the target demographic of this show is? Like,
Obviously, the readers of Architectural Digest, where we're gonna showcase Rosamund Pike's home in Prague.
is drywall different in Prague than it is in America? Like,
Joshua talks Dutch theater and his experience in TV that no one in America has watched. Zoe goes to tour New Zealand, and Jen to... Why does this keep doing this? Hades Town Orpheus tour of Tanchico Falmaset? What? Hades Town the musical? Or is that an actual town too?
I have no idea.
I don't know what that means. Maybe they did a similar tour of the Hades Town set. I know that that's a musical that some people like. Okay. Oscar nominees. We really got to milk the one Oscar nominee that we have on our show. And she hasn't done a single interesting thing since she had a cameo in Hotel Rwanda. Okay? She's been in TV shows as like the dead corpse.
Hey, she was in a Doctor Who episode.
She was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was.
She was the Queen of England.
Sophie Alcanedo as the, as the mysteriously black-skinned Houthi woman cracked me up.
Yeah. Have her break down White Tower politics on Hot Ones.
I cannot emphasize enough how much you do not want to break down White Tower politics on a show like. I feel like people forget this.
Is this
like,
one the bomb?
Replaced...
Yeah. Not have a flavor to it, but so when I was scissoring Moraine in the White Tower, so there was an actually guy. She was really old and blind, and she had visions. This is you put a dab on. You put more hot sauce on top of this.
Right. I cannot emphasize enough. Hey, so in the White Tower, the way our politics work is you can replace the president if the opposing party ever gets 51% of the congressional vote. And it's like, oh, that's a really stupid set of political, like, what is the word?
Daniel Green is lashing out on his own subs. I might have to check out that video.
Trust me, Steve has already been hitting people up about how to cover that one. I watched it. It is an absolutely wild video in the fact that he did a 50-minute breakdown of what went wrong with the Wheel of Time and never once mentioned Rafe Judkins.
Wow.
It is.
Yikes.
It is like every excuse in the book, and it is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. Like, there is a way to break that. Like, if you were going to say, "Hey, we all owe Rafe Judkins because nobody else speaks Hollywood moron well enough to get this show produced," like, that might be something that like you could argue if the show was decent, but like it's not. So, I don't know if Rafe paid him or if they made out or something, but like to not even say the name.
Well, he's bi, so.
When talking about what went wrong with that show is The coke, man. It is some of the wildest, purest, uncut copium I have ever witnessed in my life.
They probably had a rendezvous in Vegas where, where Daniel Green wanted to take it a little bit farther than Rafe was willing to go.
Do you think he finished on the what was it, the
on his buttock?
The buttock. That's the word.
Boy.
Oh man, I missed that drama. It was so fun. I keep telling I keep swearing that I'm never gonna watch another Daniel Green video though. But if this one's as good as you say, I might have to break that promise.
Yep.
It is. I hate the phrase "crash out," but it's about as close to a crash out as one can manage without actually like really messing things up. Like even in his chat, he was getting it like from people like, "Dude, this is bad, man."
But you know what's really gonna get people involved in the show is Daniel Henry, spelled wrong. His name is Daniel Henney. But people will really tune into the show if we talk about Daniel Henry being a polyglot, breaking down the linguistics of what? Oh, being a polyglot. Sorry, I got confused. I thought that was like a polyamorous relationship, and I remembered that polyglot means you can speak more than one language. But I just assumed it was something sexual because that's what all of these other ones have been.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Let's break down the linguistics of what. You mean like the scene where you forgot that Lanfear means daughter of the night, and you forgot that was Lanfear?
Yeah. I also cannot emphasize enough. Daniel Green was
Henney.
Daniel Henney was born and raised in Michigan. Like, do you guys think? Like, I mean, it's possible Daniel Henney speaks Korean, but like, it's not a lock. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, truth sworn. That autopsy video, I've got like 4 pages of notes on it already, and it's so bad.
Who's Jennifer? Whoever she is, she's a black belt in Taekwondo. Jennifer and Ayula do a series of physical trials to see who wins. Why would this get people excited about the show? This just seems like, hey, I want to see these two chicks wrestle in mud.
I cannot emphasize enough that the insistence of everybody in like this fan group calling people by their first name is so frustrating. Like, I'm not saying you have to call them sir and ma'am, but these aren't your friends. You don't know these people. Use their last name.
Who the heck's Jennifer?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you say Jennifer,
it's Leanne.
Jennifer Cheon Garcia. See, when you say Jennifer in this series, I think Jennifer Sulky.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite is number 11, though.
Fashion breakdowns, set design, Tarval and it's the same set, guys.
Yeah, but construction of the White Tower. What construction? They seem to think that they actually built that physical set. The only thing they did is for the White Tower is the halls of the White Tower and that one like overlook or whatever balcony on the White Tower. That's it.
Oh, we lost Will. Right when Mark Clark gave us $1.99 for his bar tab. I think drinks cost. I'm a Mormon, so I wouldn't know. But don't drinks cost a little bit more than that?
Yeah.
I'll send him some money. Customer service always asks if they can use his first name. I was just saying, Mark Clark gave you $1.99 for your bar tab.
I appreciate that, sir. I'm 3 hams deep right now.
Oh dear.
I cannot emphasize enough how much I love being in a place that has hams.
Wow.
Is that an alcohol or are you talking about a ham?
Hams beer, not
hams.
beer.
See, I'm a good Christian boy. I don't know about alcohols. Okay.
This one right here.
Nice.
So,
Are the rest of these are just so stupid.
Yeah.
Send Jennifer Salke to them with Korea. Priyanka Architectural Digest again? Focusing on Hollywood actors finding success abroad.
She said Bollywood actors.
Oh, Bollywood. Great. These people, they're so... They're just in the biggest bubbles imaginable.
They have no idea how production works.
And then this is great, right? People who stopped watching Wheel of Time after season 1 are not informed enough to have an opinion on the show as a whole. So please shut up. They watched Narg is so great. That's why the show got canceled. Those people formed an opinion on what they had watched and stopped. But they'll also say anyone who didn't watch the show after season 1 can't criticize it. You don't know what you're talking about. And then if you do, they'll say, stop criticizing the show. If you don't like it, stop watching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
So you got to pick a lane, babe.
But also unsubscribe and then resubscribe and watch it first thing so that we can get a season 4.
I have been blocked by about 30 people on X just this week.
Wow.
And I wasn't even being that cheeky. But one of the show for fiends said, I'm asking honestly for people who disliked it. Like, why did you think it was unfaithful? And so I answered honestly and got blocked by about 30 people who got pissed off at my honest answer.
Yeah.
The silver lining to the Wheel of Time being over is that I don't have to watch book fans have a meltdown every week on social media platform because they can't fathom people enjoying a show. Just turn it off. Hey, kind of like what I just said.
Yeah.
I've got a video coming out right now, probably tomorrow, that talks about like the Rotten Tomatoes thing. Like, okay, so it's got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like great. Well, I'm super excited that the AV Club and every like mommy blog with an LGBTQ emphasis loves the show, but like that's not who pays the bills for streaming. So stop citing it. And I cannot emphasize enough how distant the supporters of that show are from like regular people.
Yeah.
Like they don't even live in the same neighborhood. They don't talk to each other. Like, the people that love this show have never talked to a normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very sheltered.
And then again, it's like these paid shills that they get, like for the Amazon. What's this show? The Rings of Power. They have their super fans, right? That film promotions. Oh, I'm so excited about this stuff. It's so authentic. And then they interview them after the show. Is like, oh yeah, I didn't watch that. I watched House of the Dragon, so I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I'm like, you were supposed to be the super fans. Like everybody knew it was fake, but holy crap, come on.
So I know, Will, you've already seen this, but they just released like the top shows, of this last year. Amazon came in 98th place.
Wheel of Time came in 98th place. Tied for 98th place.
Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
So, it may well have been all the way off the top 100 in general if they had parsed it further 1 decimal place.
With an asterisk, though, because there were 2 weeks of the show that didn't get counted. So the number would be slightly bigger, right? The last 2 episodes.
So because the metric was done on a per episode basis. So no, like
So the number would only be bigger if the last 2 episodes had substantially more viewership than the rest, which we know is not the case.
Correct.
Okay, got it. So it's an average.
The number works.
It placed below The Bondsman and On Call, also Amazon shows, The Bondsman was live for 1 week before these numbers cut off.
Yeah.
They did drop the whole season at once, but that was dropped on the third to last episode. Because I remember because they were super excited. Hey, all of those other famous shows are over now, so we'll finally get number 1. And then they released The Bondsman, and it beat them again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I do love that, like, they had Kevin Spacey to film for like 3 weeks, and that was still better. Like, oh my God.
Absolutely
what a
crazy.
Disaster.
So crazy. But we all know what's going to save it is all the queer show. It's part of a bigger fight to save the Wheel of Time, which is part of a bigger story. Queer shows get canceled at twice the rate of others. Gee, I wonder why. Representation matters, guys. Save queer stories.
This is like, what was it? The Democratic Party rolled out their attempt to court white males, and their solution was to roll out this ugly fat bitch. Sorry, that was my second one. And I'm just like, this is your plan? Like, don't you think you'd have more success if you tried to like appeal to normal people? It blows my mind.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at this.
The third part of that statement, though, if you don't like it, stop watching. But also, it's your fault that you stopped watching that a show got canceled.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at this list of shows in here, and right under this hashtag Save Queer Story, this Outer Range, and I'm struggling to think of what is queer about Outer Range.
I didn't watch season 2 yet. Did it get gay in season 2?
I don't remember. I didn't finish season 2.
Willow was pretty gay, though.
Okay, that's you got me there. I guess they have
NCIS Hawaii.
They do have.
I was looking at that one.
What? Chucky?
Oh yeah, Chucky! What the heck? The only
Gay
thing I can
boy
think of
detectives.
is
Okay.
They did have that police officer sheriff lady was gay.
Oh yeah. The indigenous sheriff.
Not queer story. You have a queer character. Like, yeah, whatever.
I'm trying to figure out Pretty Little Liars. I thought, isn't Pretty Little Liars just like basically like teenage smut? Like, was there?
Yeah.
I feel like that wasn't a queer story. That was,
I think they did a reboot too, and it was all gay stuff. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched either of them.
Okay, that's fair.
No dude in the Wheel of Time group tried to claim inbreeding creates diversity in small villages to defend race, diversifying its field. I mean, technically, you could have some real diverse retards.
I was gonna say maybe diversity in chromosomal disorders, but not.
A 2-hour O.J. Simpson documentary beat the Wheel of Time. Yeah. Okay. So Sanderson...
Dude, the juice is loose.
Sanderson released a statement. Have you seen this yet?
I did.
Oh, boy. It's bad.
I wasn't really involved.
So, is there anything Brandon can say on the Wheel of Time show getting canceled? Someone commented. I wasn't really involved. Don't know anything more than what is public. They told me they were renegotiating and thought it would work out. Then I heard nothing for 2 months. Then learned this from the news like everyone else. I do think it's a shame. You don't need to say that, Brandon. As while I had my problems with the show, it did have a fan base who deserved better than a cancellation after the best season. You know, he hasn't watched it. He only said that because that's what they've been saying. This was the best season ever. We don't deserve to be canceled.
And he
didn't watch season 2. He only watched the finale. Okay?
Right.
And then
yeah.
This. I won't miss being largely ignored. They wanted my name attached to it for legitimacy, but not to involve me in any meaningful way.
Ouch.
So this is going to sound like a dunk on Sanderson, but I promise it's not. Um, as Sanderson has lost the ability to write subtly in his fiction, he
Yeah.
seems to have also lost the ability to write subtlety in his press releases.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's truth to that.
I think he's getting just worn down a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's affected his writing, and maybe
Dude, we're
it's
like-
the Wheel
we're
of
like-
Time's fault. Maybe that gave him depression, and that's why Wind and Truth sucked.
Yeah. Well, I
Dude,
think
we're like-
honestly,
we're like
it was Wheel of Time and Rings of Power getting these adaptations that, and of course his successful Kickstarter that brought all of these studios to him, saying, "Hey, look, we've had your eye on you for a while. Let's get something adapted." And now that they're not performing, he said publicly that the studios all have cold feet now. They don't want to pull the plug on a new fantasy series because they're not performing because the adaptations are so poorly written.
This comment is great, though. FYI, this response sounds angrier than when he responded to the reporter who went and spent a week with him and then attacked him viciously in that article and called him all kinds of names in the book. You know, he's angry that he was so nice to that reporter and like, well, he meant well and all this stuff. And this is a much worse response.
I genuinely, like, I know there are people that were like, Brandon was very patient with that guy. Like, he should have, this makes me like him better. I've actually, in the last 6 months, I've gone the opposite direction. Brandon, you're a little bitch. You should have thrown him bodily out of your home.
Himself.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think, honestly, that's part of the problem with his latest book is he's got so many people pulling him, telling him what to do. His woke beta readers are, clapping him on the back for including all this stuff, and I think he gets pressured to do that, and he doesn't want to rock the boat and stand up for what he should. So hopefully he course corrects. I don't know if he will. We'll
how do you feel about Mexican Hermione?
Dude,
Hermonia Hernandez.
I absolutely love that. The conversation happened behind the scenes. They were like, "Look,
she's kind of white."
No, and that's exactly what I was going to say. They were like, "Look, we need to do a minority Hermione, but also, if we do a minority Hermione, we're going to get killed. So the solution is to cast the whitest minority we can find." and this girl was the
she looks like a really sweet girl too. Like I'm not mad at her in any way. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her and Bella Ramsey that you'd have these studios that are more interested in controversial casting than they are in telling a good story.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I apologize, boys. I didn't. StreamYards absolutely eats my battery, so I might have to get that.
All right. We already fought when we got through all the Wheel of Time stuff. So
yeah. But if these kids can act, then we'll see.
I honestly think they look okay.
They look fine. I still love the original Harry Potter actor. He will always be Harry Potter in my mind.
Should we just get them back and have them pretend to be 11?
Hey, we have de-aging technology now. We don't need
I don't know why
have
we're
the
making
technology.
a show, though. Why we already have the movie? Why do we need a show? That's my take.
Because the movies suck.
What? I thought the movies were great.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that nobody tried to do like a Harry Potter book 9. Like, what would they be doing in 5 years? Like, there's no way that would not have been a hit.
Yeah.
Do it for $70 million, and you would definitely make that back, and people being like, "What the fuck is this about?" Sorry, that was my third one. What is this about?
That's kind of what the the screenplay, the cursed boy or whatever, cursed child, right? I'm surprised they didn't try adapting that into an actual,
because everyone hates
film.
it.
So
I
I
don't
cannot
know.
emphasize enough how bad that was. Like
Yeah.
the minimal amount of effort needed to make that successful was wild. Like she wasn't even willing to novelize it. All she would have had to do was take the dialogue, put some quotes around it, and be like, "He said" at the end of every line, and she wasn't even willing to do that. Like the laziness involved in that.
Did you see Lilo and Stitch?
I did not.
About
I
it.
was involved in a fairly ugly fight on that on Zax's stream, though.
My wife made me watch it with my kids because that was the first. This is the first live action reboot that they've like bugged me about. Like, can we please go see Lilo and Stitch? And so we had to go see it on Discount Tuesday because I didn't want to give Disney too much money. And I don't know if you've heard this yet, but Ohana means family, and family means leave your
CPS is for everybody.
leave your sister behind so that you can go to college.
Yeah. And this is something I brought up with a couple guys on Discord that is like, I heard this. It's kind of crazy. And someone went to defend the decision and said, no, that's absolutely not true. People that are spouting that are just trying to dog on the film. And I'm like, okay, so she doesn't give her sister up for adoption at the end?
No, she does.
Well, no, she does. She does do that, but
it's for good reasons. It's because
and it's fine because it's just the neighbor and they love her and it's fine. I'm like, but that's missing the point of the movie.
Here's the thing.
The point of the movie is family sticks together, and it's hard and it sucks and you're gonna struggle, but you're supposed to be there for each other.
Here's the thing. There's no reason why they couldn't have done it the other way around too. Because she goes to college and they have a teleport gun. It's the gun from Portal.
Yeah.
They have a portal gun, and every night she comes home and visits Lilo. And you're like, okay, so why did you need to give her up for adoption? Because you were doing the same thing when you were going off to work.
Yeah.
And the reason why, it's a line halfway in between the movie. The social worker comes up to Nani?
Nani, yeah.
Nani? Comes up to Nani, and it's after they have the accident while surfing.
Yeah.
And they take Lilo to the hospital. The social worker comes up and says, there's no way you can pay for all these medical bills. But there is one way you can get the government to pay for it. Give up your sister to adoption. Abandon your sister, and socialism will take care of you. And so that's why she makes the decision at the end of the movie. It's literal Marxist propaganda. I hated this movie so much because it's literally just that line. You could have had her say, no, I still love my sister, but I'm also going to look out for myself, and I'm going to use this portal gun, and I'm going to go to college, but I'm not going to give up my sister. And because it's literally the exact same ending, but the only difference is taxpayers are going to pay for it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's insane.
No, I'm not exaggerating. The social worker pressures her into abandoning her sister so that the government will pay for everything.
That's
Nani? Yes, it's liberation. It's feminism. But they fixed the ending. They made it better. Is that what are they championing this ending?
Yeah.
Also, I mean,
it's more realistic for a modern audience because who needs family? Families are complicated, and if it doesn't end in happily ever after, it's more realistic and more applicable to us in our modern day.
Not going to read it.
Yeah.
So there are lots of other deficiencies with this movie too. Okay, it's not just it's not terrible. It's apart from that one line, it's probably the least egregious, maybe second to Cinderella. Okay, like but also the filmmakers were idiots. Okay, like they basically just tried to do a shot for shot reboot, but didn't even understand the purpose of those original shots. Like they do the scene they do the scene at the beginning. Although the intro is crazy rushed. Stitch escaping and landing on Earth is like a breakneck pace for no reason. Like it doesn't even show. They rush it so much that you don't even notice that Stitch is smart. Like when he's like tied up and he's like, oh, like they're following my ears. He does it once and says, okay, now I'm going to spit. And like, you don't even see him thinking and problem solving. It's just, we're doing this because it happened in the book, in the movie, but we don't realize why. It was him, case testing and learning how it worked. And then they just ran through it. The worst part of that scene though, is so in the cartoon, he gets shot down. He's crash landing on Earth. They say, oh, he's crash landing on Earth. It's 90% water. That's great. That'll kill him. And they zoom in, and he's going to land in water. And they zoom in, and yes, he's dying. And then a random island appears. No, it's a good gag, right? He's going to land in the ocean, and a random island appears out of nowhere and saves his life. And he crash lands on there. They try to do the same thing in this episode, okay? And contradict themselves horribly.
I was going to say that's how it works in the cartoon. I see no problem.
I was describing the cartoon.
Gotcha. Okay.
They do that scene, and they say, map his trajectory, please. Except he doesn't get shot down. He escapes on a plane.
So
he escapes on a spaceship.
Flying the spaceship.
He escapes on a spaceship. And he just escapes. And they say, calculate his trajectory. And they say, okay. And they pull up the screen, and Hawaii is already on the screen. And they go, it's 90%, it's 70% water. That'll kill him. Oh my goodness, he's landing on... They literally spoiled their own joke.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Stitch, who's just driving a spaceship. So how on earth could they have calculated his trajectory?
Yeah.
And then he gets angry and bashes the controls in, and it steams up, and that makes him crash. So they calculated his trajectory before his trajectory was even trajected. There's a whole bunch of dumb stuff like that in the book, in the show, in the movie. Goodness, I'm struggling.
That is a huge bummer because the councilwoman,
so good.
Of course, it landed on the island.
It's like the best joke in the movie.
In the movie,
and they butcher it.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They just don't understand basic filmmaking or jokes. Yeah. They're just like, well, it happened in the movie, so we're going to do it here. But you're like, okay, but the point of that movie was that they thought that they were saved, and then the island appears out of nowhere, and they're screwed. That was the point of the scene.
Yeah. So. I heard too that they didn't really understand the relationship between the sisters, and that a lot of the scenes that they tried to reenact.
They're goofy. It's like slapstick, and you're like, no, this is like the most heartbreaking scene in the movie because Nani knows if this isn't fixed, she's losing her sister.
Yeah,
and they're just like, oh, it's funny. They answer it like a goat screaming, and when they're like, I'm already in my room, goat scream, and you're like they're supposed to be crying in this scene, because she's like, yeah, I want to let her just be a kid, but also if she's just a kid, then I lose her.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful movie. I love Lilo and Stitch, and this I hated this.
So call me woke if you want, but I heard they removed the cross-dressing alien.
Yeah.
And I'm just not about that. Put the trans alien back in the film, you cowards.
Yeah, that was a great.
Yep.
That was a.
They
great
also
gag.
removed the villain.
Yeah, they took out Gantu.
They just turned the doctor guy who created Stitch into the bad guy.
Pleasley or whatever, yeah, or Pleakley. No, Pleakley's the other one.
Pleakley's the.
What's the
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark Buck, you need to see this.
It's honestly, it's a really good Disney movie.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
That's how I know I'm in a ratchet hotel room. None of the lights are
it's the second least worst.
Second least worst.
No Gantu. Yeah, it's dumb. It was a dumb movie. And there were some scenes were actually done really well. The guy who plays is it David or Daniel?
David is the love interest for Ronnie.
David, really good actor. He only gets like one line, and they cut him out of the rest of the movie.
That's a bummer.
They cut out a lot of the development of Stitch's character too, like Lilo developing a relationship with Stitch. They cut out like half of those scenes where they grow to love each other. It's just one scene where he's causing chaos, and then she gets him to calm down by playing Elvis. And that's it. And then they do a surfing scene. But like they don't develop their relationship at all.
So what do they spend their time on? Like
Marxist propaganda. No joke.
Fair. Okay.
That scene was a really long one. And they tried to make it super emotional. You're going to lose your... And it should have been the other scene that was supposed to be emotional. Oh, you're not going to be able to pay for it. Just give up. Just let the government... Just marry the government, okay? You don't need to marry Daniel. The government will pay for everything.
Which further causes broken homes because marrying the government incentivizes divorce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awful.
It incentivizes single parents.
Single-handedly destroyed the black community. Yes.
Yeah. I was arguing with my fiance about this actually because she watched the movie and she
after watching Lilo and Stitch, you need to read The Naked Communist. Yes. Thank you. You know me so well, Mark.
There's our once a week tie-in recommendation.
But I'm not quick to say that my fiance has good taste in movies, but she did watch the original Lilo and Stitch. She loved it. Said it was 9 out of 10. And she did say the new movie was a 6 out of 10, but she did like it, and she was defending the ending.
There are some good scenes in the movie. There are some.
Yeah.
There was actually there was one joke that I laughed at. I was like, it's not. It infuriates me because it could have been good.
Yeah.
And they chose to make it bad instead.
Yeah.
Who sent me this?
Anyway.
I didn't read it.
That was me.
Fake titles.
That was me.
I know that a bunch of authors just got busted for including AI prompts in their books. Like, hey, can you punch up this section and make dial up the sexual tension? And like, yes, this is. So they didn't include that prompt, but they included the response. And so in the book, you're like, hey, and so they gazed at each other's eyes, and then the next paragraph is. I have punched up this section for you, adding, making it more steamy and focusing on the character's abs, mimicking the style of this popular author.
That's hilarious! Holy crap!
There've been like 5 authors that were busted for it just in like the last month.
So as great as that is, the one that is absolutely killing me is the people getting rolled up in the Court of Appeals. Where they're like, yes, we're citing the precedent based on case X. And then the judge is like, I've heard a lot of these cases before. I've never heard of case X. Let me go and look this up. And it's not a real case. Like the AI just made up.
Making up, just inventing sources. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Did we need to read this, Charles? Or is it just a funny
No,
title?
it's just a funny, the title sums it up. They created a summer reading list where a lot of the books.
Oh, okay. So they were trying to not do their jobs and say, I got assigned to this article where I have to come up with a summer reading list. Grok, do it for me, and half of them are fake.
Absolutely. And it's a summer reading list to promote reading and writing, and the people who are creating it can't bother to read and write their own. They can't even bother to create their own reading list.
Yeah. That's the main problem with AI. I have no qualms with the use of AI as a tool, right? But it needs to be a tool. It can't do your whole job for you. You still need to have human input and proofreading the output. quality checking the output, right? It just shows how brain dead and stupid and lazy these idiots are.
Look, I think
and that is the danger of AI. The danger of AI is not that they're going to overrun us or become better than us. The danger is that we're just going to become sloth.
We're going to let them think for us.
We're gonna let them think for us, and they're not going to become better than us. They're going to remain bad and awful, but we're going to go down to their level.
Speaking of AI generation, I think Sydney Sweeney's a great gal. Okay, she's easy on the eyes. I'm not interested in her bathwater soap.
No,
I'm not interested in. Mark. I'm not interested in my wife's bathwater. Okay.
Okay. How do you turn bathwater into soap, though?
You need a little bit of water to make soap. In order to.
I don't know how soap's made.
Yeah.
No,
it's a lot of animal fat and water.
Yep.
No, the reason that I know that I married the best woman in the world is my wife saw this headline, and her first comment was, "This is a psyop to convince Indian men to use soap."
I think she posted that one in the group chat because I heard the joke too.
That's good.
Have you guys seen this?
I have not.
This is scary good. I gotta share
the audio on this.
So it's completely AI video. They've I think in the last few weeks they've integrated sound, right? And this one's genuinely funny. It's imagining streamers and influencers doing their thing while nuclear war is happening.
The N-word.
Can you guys hear this?
A detonation.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is crazy good.
A detonation has just occurred on the outer ring of the city. We'll now be going live to our top influencer opinions. OMG, people, the world is ending. Are you seeing this? This is actually so exciting.
No, I know it's
lips
chaos,
are really good. Holy crap.
I know what. That's really good. Holy cow.
Some of the jokes too that the AI wrote are funny.
You got real survivor's wife energy.
That's cool. I like them feisty.
Like, it would totally be better if we ran it, you know? Men literally destroy everything, and my girls need to stop being so soft with these basic losers. Who even needs men, right? Anything a man builds just gets destroyed by a different man.
Guys, this collapse is literally the perfect dip. I'm buying more right now.
Dude, that's so good.
It's good.
That's so perfect.
Right?
Holy crap.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm buying the dip. Buy the dip.
The lip syncing's a little, well, it's quite a bit off.
Now we get some Apocalypse ASMR.
Our Sue is aesthetic today. I made this outfit. Even as the world burns, my struggle for visibility and acceptance continues. This is exactly why representation matters now more than ever.
As I keep saying on the channel, the world collapses when men stop lifting. It's not politics, it's testosterone.
Get those gains, boys.
That's so good.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Balloon time. So yummy. Nuclear boom. So tasty. Thank you.
Nothing stops the daily grind. Not even a little natural disaster.
Friends, this is the breakthrough moment from chapter 7. When everything falls apart, we rebuild ourselves stronger.
My girl, you wouldn't believe what just happened.
Hi! OMG, I just totally shit my pants after that noise.
Chat, this is literally the most realistic survival game ever, and someone donate so I can buy a boat DLC before I actually drown.
This is
I want to play the whole video.
So good.
But
holy crap.
I want to play the whole video, but like go watch. They deserve views.
Wow.
Go watch the Door Brothers.
They had to have fixed a little bit of the lips on here because it looks.
This is
so
the quality
good.
now. Oh, this one.
That's insane.
This one's good.
OMG, there's like a nuke or something? Can we get 5 gifted subs for surviving the blast, maybe?
It's the first video that pops up.
Oh no!
I think I remember this one. They're like, all the flights are canceled, and he's like, and this guy pops up, get me on that plane. My poodle has diplomatic immunity. Oh, it's so funny, man.
Oh.
We get to an Alex Jones one. The joke for him wasn't very good, but it's cool stuff.
Wow.
AI is spooky.
Yeah, AI is getting good.
Charles, you're the only one that watched The Last of Us, so is a 94% on the just as believable as Wheel of Time season 3.
I was gonna say this is if you think about it the other way, this is only 50% as good as Wheel of Time.
It's only got 253 reviews though.
How much? I'm curious about the
pretty
difference.
low, isn't it?
Yeah. And Wheel of Time season 3 got 30.
Yeah.
With 5 top critic reviews. Actually, if you want to have a laugh, I will give you a sneak peek at.
Where's the breakdown? Oh, this is season 2. Sorry. Okay, how much? I got to see how much dropped between 2 and 3. 2 and 1.
Wait, did that say 37% audience score?
Yep.
Holy fuck! Sorry, that was my third one.
That's your fourth.
Fourth one, I think.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you want to have a laugh, pull up the Wheel
That's
of
half.
Time.
They lost half of the reviewers.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
If you want to have a laugh, pull up the Wheel of Time season 3 top critics.
Okay.
Legitimately.
Season 3.
Season 3.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were saying the Last of Us season 3. I'm like,
no,
that doesn't make sense.
We already had the talk about survivorship bias, right?
Yes, we've. Yep. But if you click on the reviews and then you look at the top critics, they
managed to get more. So it used to have less reviews than season 2. I guess they were really scraping the barrel.
Yeah. So what happened is Rotten Tomatoes began giving more and more people the approved credit.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just saying, just a few weeks ago, it had less reviews than season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not because
Still
more
less than
critics
season 1.
reviewed it. It's because they gave the official critic credit to more people.
Yeah.
But if
how
you
do you get certified as a top critic? Let me in on that action.
Right. I feel like if you
gotta walk the right line.
If you click on the bios of these people, 3 of the 5 have like openly gay stuff in their bio. Like we openly write for gay blogs, and
yep.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, gee, I wonder if they liked the Wheel of Time.
Yes, and you're not going to believe this, but Christina Izzo, who writes for the AV Club, which may be the gayest blog ever, actually isn't one of those 3.
Wow.
But like Ed
David
Power,
Opie,
yes.
Queer Material, got it.
Yeah, he writes for 3 different.
What's Queerty? It's a publication. I gotta know.
Oh no. Oh, that's an.
It's not approved. So then, how is it? Oh, because he writes for like 30 different ones.
Yeah.
Then why is this listed if it's not approved?
I think
Gay
Essential. Gay Essential, yes. Gay Essential, Material, Queer, and Queerty.
Yep.
And so I looked at that Ed Power guy. Oh, this is the best one.
Sorry. What? There. I thought they go by there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to understand the sentence
every time.
grammatically, and I forgot that we're stupid now. Their work tends to focus on blackness, queerness, and sex on screen. What? So pornography?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the one who this is the infamous The AV Club, yeah, okay.
Yes,
and
the
she
AV
gave a bad
Club.
review.
Yes, the AV Club, which as of like 5 years ago was the gayest organization in the world.
Is she mad because she didn't like the show or because they buried their gays?
I think that one was from before the finale.
Let's read it.
But if
this time around, the expansions of this world come off like a ticked-off checklist and assuage the reader's inventory of settings, cultures, the villains, with our hero's journey feeling certainly designed but not entirely earned. I don't think Rand had a hero's journey on March 11th.
Or God forbid, Perrin.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm not going to say that that Ed Power needs a hard drive check, but he did give Sound of Freedom a 1 of 5 and Shooty Got One Doctor Who a 4 of 5.
Oh snap!
So like, if I were a judge, I would probably consider that probable cause.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth.
Now, did he rate Cuties on Netflix? That will be the final nail in the coffin.
We'd have to look.
Who are we talking about? David Opie?
No, Ed Power.
Ed Power. Okay.
No, we know David Opie's a sexual deviant.
Yep.
Does it load all of them up?
I don't know if there's a way to.
There's got to be a better way to do this.
There should be. There isn't.
Yeah, I think Cuties came out like 2001.
I think you got to look up Cuties.
Oh, don't look up Cuties.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't do that, man. You're gonna end up on a list.
I know, but if I do it through Rotten Tomatoes, this will be easier. Ed Powers, what was it?
Yeah,
Ed Power. Which, by the way, talk about a fake porn name.
Yeah, right.
I keep saying load more, and then it doesn't load anymore. Oh no, it did. It just
does.
scooted
It
down
just
for me.
scoots.
It automatically scooted me down.
That's weird.
Yeah. So talk to us about The Last of Us while I scroll.
I mean, it was all right. It's okay. I guess Ellie is just they call out Ellie for being selfish. I think it's great.
She is.
She is. Jesse calls her out. He's being just calling her out, saying that he was prioritizing everybody else, and he actually voted against her revenge plan because she thought, oh, Jesse voted for me, of course, because he's my friend and he supports me. But he reveals, no, I voted against you because you're being selfish. And it's great because he calls her out for being selfish, and then he dies. So that's fun. And I've always hated the way he died. I don't like it in the game. It was very weird. Like, I'm not, I guess, necessarily opposed to the fact that he dies. I think it's good story-wise. It's just the way that it happened was confusing and weird.
I still have no idea who you're talking about.
Jesse is the father. Is the actual father.
Oh, he's the real father. He's
the actual father, not the fellow Ramsey
so
father.
she kills him off so that she can assume his identity
No.
as the father. Got it. So that's what
Abby comes and shoots
that
him.
was the change that was confirmed. Is she's a dad. Why'd you send me these articles, Charles? I don't want to read them.
Did I send you that one?
You sent me that season 3 is just going to be about Abby's backstory.
Yeah.
Is that what they said? Because we're getting 4 seasons of the show now.
Yeah.
Insane, man.
I actually think that'll make it a better season because it's not going to have
because Bella Ramsey won't be in it.
Yeah, and Abby seems, as for what I heard, everybody loves Abby, which is crazy because in the game, you hate Abby. People were, as you started playing Abby, they would let her die on purpose. They hated her so much. But I've heard only praise about Abby so far.
Cool.
So this is going to be one of those problems that if you want me to cheer for Ellie, you can't cast Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
And like one of like, you know, I like
even if you do that, maybe don't make don't instruct. I don't know if it was her choice or the director. Don't make every single word that comes out of her mouth insufferable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if you're going to cast Bella Ramsey, which I think is a dumb idea, try to get the audience on her side.
Right.
And they try their hardest to make her the least likable character in all of history.
Yeah. And that's weird because I was talking with my fiance about this as well, and I love her, but she's got really bad taste. I think she watched some of the first season and she liked Bella Ramsey. But in her defense, she doesn't listen to the original. She watched.
So they like making changes, but it would have been a mistake to make this change. What's the change?
Oh wait,
keeping Joel alive.
Assuming Joel dying, yeah.
So, like, unironically, I cannot emphasize enough I love a fucked up joke. Sorry, that was 5. I love a messed up joke. But the people posting the Harvey Weinstein memes under all of the Bella Ramsey, like, Last of Us posts, like, too far, man, too far.
Yep.
I definitely didn't make that same joke. I would never stoop that low.
Drag to delete folder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look, he was a bad guy, okay? But Hitler also invented the Autobahn.
They were still casting 9s and 10s when Harvey was running Hollywood. It was like taking an apex predator out of the ecosystem. You know, there were undoubtedly going to be weird consequences.
This is the most bizarre thing, too. Everyone's saying, like, oh, I loved her in Game of Thrones. Like, did you, though? Did you like her in Game of Thrones? She was kind of awful in that, too.
She was in, like, 3 episodes. Like,
Yeah. She kind of has, like, 5 spoken lines. Is that it?
Yeah. I like Rafi in the league. That doesn't mean I want to see Rafi in everything. Like,
he is in everything.
Playing the exact same character. Did you watch
honestly,
the league?
he's on this season of Taskmaster, and he's killing it. It's actually hilarious. I can't remember his real name because all I know is he's Rafi from the league and the guy who keeps appearing in every other TV show as the same character. Dude, man, the league was hilarious. That show was irreverent, and that's my guilty pleasure show.
I will always say that his role in Community is like maybe the best example of that show's ability to be deep and stupid at the same time. Like what is it? Wait. You think Daniel LaRusso was the main character of The Karate Kid? The Karate Kid is that rant is one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he can be really funny. Okay. Yeah, that's all the news.
There were some cool. I guess there were some things I did like about this episode. Like I did one good thing. They did have a conversation about community, like their communities and
about the TV show. Much better TV show. Dude,
no, I meant as in they have to prioritize their community.
I was making a joke.
Over other
Do we know when the Community movie's coming out? Because I want to talk about anything other than The Last of Us.
There's a Community movie?
Yeah.
That's apparently the word.
Hashtag and a movie, yeah.
Yeah, Dan Harmon has already wrote it.
That was the plan from the beginning, and it's been
delayed to
slow going.
It's
early 2026.
So I just saw this article and it's great.
You share.
The Chosen is somehow beating Community to 6 seasons in a movie.
Super random, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's a great show, though. Chosen's great.
Yeah,
I've heard that. Al Dan raves about that show.
It's
I need to watch it. Yeah,
as is House of David.
You ever watched The Chosen?
I've heard House of David is good too.
House of David was phenomenal. Dude, I'm telling you,
Wheel of Time.
I'm telling you, watch House of David, and you will not be able to stop thinking about the Wheel of Time. Like every single character in that show could be could replace one of the Wheel of Time actors, and you're like, and would do a better job. I would,
yeah.
And I said this as a joke the first week, but the more I watched the show, I would literally take the Jew boy David as Rand. Like, he's that good of an actor. Just give him red hair. I don't care that his nose is huge. And I'm not saying that as a stereotype. That dude has a schnoz. And I loved him. Okay, he was phenomenal as David.
Yeah.
But like, I was the entire King Saul is literally the perfect Lews Therin. He is so good.
Yeah.
See,
they literally have a Podon Fane character too, who does a better Podon Fane than Wheel of Time did.
Yep.
See, my experience, I was watching a show, and I was like, wow, this is actually better than Wheel of Time, but like somewhat similar, was the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where Charlie is trying to drag his dad's corpse up the cliff in order to throw it off. I'm like, wait a minute, I know this.
I think I'm like a full season behind though. I think I forgot to like keep it in my radar, and I think they've released a whole season that I haven't watched.
See, I am kind of the impression that that show ended with the Mac gay dance reveal, because I was like, you're not gonna top this. Like, not good. Even like a shockingly pathos-driven like. I was like, am I watching the right show here? I was like, yeah, but you're not gonna top this. So just.
The moment they did it, though, too, like, my heart broke that we weren't going to get any more closeted homosexual Christian jokes. Because that's such a funny, it's such a good character that he is so far in the closet that he says he hates all of this stuff.
and the one that cracked me up that I couldn't stop laughing at was the fisting bicycle.
Yes. It keeps you in it keeps you on your toes, so you cycle harder. I don't think that's what it does. What a great show.
Yeah.
I might check up Hulu, see if there's episodes I haven't seen.
My only issue with that show is like, you need to be a little bit of a bad person for me to recommend that show to you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's a portion of my social circle that I could never be like.
I can't tell my mom to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It is such a clever show, though.
That's another one of the shows that got grandfathered into not having to play by the woke comedy rules.
They do blackface like 7 times. The Wizard of Oz musical episode, or not? Yep. It's not the Wiz. It's the Wiz. It's the cast does the Wiz, and they're all in blackface the whole. Or not? They're not in blackface. They're replaced with black actors the whole time. But anytime they look in a mirror, they see themselves. And Danny DeVito goes walking down the street in this like peppy musical, like everything's better when you're black, like I can do this, I can say the N-word. Like, such a good episode. Danny DeVito brought that show home. It was already like a good concept, and then he just filled in all of the holes that they didn't know were there. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I need to get into that show.
You do. You desperately. I think Martina would like it, because she's a horrible person. I know my wife will hate it, but I think Martina would like it.
I feel like that's actually a good breakdown. Like, you want to marry a woman who would not like Always Sunny.
Sorry, David.
But David's wife is just degenerate.
Fair.
What about Lady Balefire? Does she like It's Always Sunny?
Yes.
Or does she judge you for watching it?
No, every once in a while, my wife.
She likes Dungeon Crawler Carl. I know the answer to that question.
Every once in a while, my wife will say something that I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet. Like from I feel like I'm fairly politically kind of out there, and then every once in a while, she'll say something, and I'm like, really. Citizens? You want the citizens deported too? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of like,
yeah, wow.
All of them? Liberia?
So when they do the actual blackface, it's them making sequels to the Lethal Weapon movies. Because they love Lethal Weapon so much. One of them's Mel Gibson, and the other what's the actor's name?
He's the manager in Angels
Clarence or something like that. The black one.
Yeah. Also, I'm not going to apologize for this. Blackface is hilarious.
It is funny.
Every time it's been deployed in the 21st century, it has a 100% hit rate.
Yeah. Well, there's a huge we gotta acknowledge that there is a difference between It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia doing blackface because they love the character and Justin Trudeau putting on a freaking minstrel show because he hates black people. Like there's a big difference between celebrating something and openly mocking it. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Big difference. And
Danny Glover, by the way.
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel did it. He dressed up as Shaq. He did blackface. Yeah. I think it was Shaq he was impersonating.
Yep.
And I have no problem with it.
Yeah, that one was actually funny.
You can't beat
Tropic Thunder. They don't care about the difference, though. They want to be offended.
Right. They're looking for excuses to be offended. Absolutely.
Victim complex.
Yeah. I know. We're missing a show. What did we? Oh, we didn't talk about. No, we did talk about the rehearsal. Are we done? Are we done talking about everything?
Doctor Who.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
If we wanted to get further into that, but yeah, I think we talked about all the shows, right?
Yeah, I think we cruised through everything. Other than, William, you have to watch the rehearsal. It's great.
Is it good? See, I was the one you talked me into was Murderbot.
You liked it?
That's a good one.
Did you watch Murderbot?
No, I have not. That's going to be my next show.
I've been enjoying it.
It's pretty good,
dude. Like there are some dumb characters in it, and it's like on purpose. Like he sees these. There's literally a line in the show where the Murderbot sees this throuple, getting intimate, and he goes, "Ugh, I want to puke."
Yeah. But he does that to all the...
He hates all human intimacy, though. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't Shaq. Who was Jimmy Kimmel doing?
Or it might have
was
been...
Was it O.J. Simpson?
No, it was...
you can't beat
Karl Malone. That's who it was.
Karl Malone. I thought he was in a Lakers jersey.
Was it?
Okay, Jim. This isn't going to mess up my search history. Jimmy Kimmel blackface.
All right. You know what? I suppose Karl Malone... No, it was Karl Malone. I forgot.
Yeah, see it.
Karl Malone's corpse played on the Lakers for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, the news article I pull up doesn't have a picture of it. Come on. Why are we pretending that this history didn't happen?
I'm fascinated.
He apologized.
Because it is one of the worst sins you could do.
I got a picture.
Blackface word is the worst word you could ever say. Blackface is the greatest.
We can always count on MovieWeb, the pinnacle of journalism, to give us an actual picture of Jimmy Kimmel in blackface.
Okay, so unironically, if you ever want to be really disgusted, look up what Karl Malone actually did to after he retired. It's one of the worst things ever. And I know that in Utah, you guys may still have some some fondness for Karl Malone, but if you look it up, you won't after that.
I don't care about sports. Is it worse than what Rick James did?
Yes.
Is it worse than kidnapping a kid and peeing on them?
Yes, actually,
Okay.
yes, it is.
Okay.
The phrase "she was 14," Carl, got used at a Hall of Fame event. If that gives you any indication.
That's some pretty good makeup right there.
That is.
This is really good blackface.
Yeah,
it's more than just blackface.
Oh no! Somebody committed to that bit.
Yeah,
that's good.
This is Tropic Thunder level good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I hear correctly? They were talking about bringing the Tom Cruise character from Tropic Thunder into his own movie.
Yeah. Tom Cruise is like, so it's not official, but he's like, I would love to bring that character back, and Ben Stiller was like, if Tom Cruise says he'll do it, I'm writing the script right now. Like, you don't say no to Tom Cruise putting on big hands. You know, you let Tom Cruise be Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I love this so much.
Let's just pull up Justin Trudeau blackface for some contrast.
Justin Trudeau was pretty black.
Like, but he went for like the white lips, you know, like literal minstrel show.
Yeah. Justin Trudeau was pretty bad. And who was the other commentator that he was ripping others for doing blackface, and he did the full on minstrel blackface.
Can't remember.
As well. I don't remember that.
The only picture that still exists is the one where he's doing like the Indian. This one.
Yeah, that's the one I found.
But he's done it like 100 times.
Yeah, done it several times.
This is just the only picture that you can find on the internet. Anyway, all right. So we already transitioned to Tom Cruise then. So to reiterate what I said, I think it's worth watching. The stunts are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that the story is subpar, and I was pretty disappointed with the story and how much they stretched out that movie. You can edit out an hour of that movie.
See,
and it would be better.
I disagree with there. I never felt at any point that this last film was dragging its feet. I thought it moved along at a nice clip. Yeah. Not at all.
Did you like the scene at the end? Did you like the scene at the end where they're like, "Hey, these are the bad guys here, and we're ambushing them. Oh, our ambush got ambushed, and then the ambush that ambushed the ambush got ambushed because the bad guy had bad guys in reserve that came up and ambushed the. It was literally the sniper on the hill got replaced 4 times with." Switching sides of like, oh no, but we had a guy on you and then you had a guy on him. It's literally the meme. It's the meme in the church, right? With the 3 people in the pews and the sniper. I thought that scene was ridiculous.
Yeah. There were a couple contrivances. I didn't think that was that bad. I thought they did show one person that was like taking out some of the snipers, but I thought it was the same person.
Nope.
Or the same group that was taking them out. So I thought there was only one changeover, so to speak.
It happened thrice.
Yeah, I do admit there were some contrivances and impossibilities that that was good.
Man, but, it's worth it though. The stunts are incredible.
Yeah,
the freaking dueling biplanes.
The plane sequence was so good.
The only part I didn't like is there was one scene where Tom Cruise he's like his plane's injured, right? And he's getting hunted by the bad guy, and then it cuts away to a different scene, and when it comes back, Tom Cruise is underneath his plane and he hops on and abandoned his plane, and you're like, I feel like you skipped over something really important here. Like, how did he Benny Hill his way underneath the other plane when he was the one getting hunted? And you're like, well, I guess he just didn't notice that I was directly underneath him. I was like, oh, that sequence was so good, and that moment almost ruined it.
My only issue with that scene is how it ended, because the guy was like, oh, you don't have a parachute. And so he jumps off and dies.
And then he got a parachute.
And then he got a parachute anyway. I thought he was going to jump after him and tackle him in the air and use his parachute.
Well, no,
that would have been so much freaking cooler.
Even better, when he's upside down and the key is dangling, I wanted him to grab it and fall and die to save the world.
Yeah.
I think the movie would have been better if Tom Cruise dies at the end. They've already said this is the last one. Pass the torch. Give it to the replacement. Did you notice how they fixed the problem with the first movie? What's the guy? So
which first movie?
So Mission Impossible. The thing
the
people
very
hate,
first movie, or
the thing people hate about
one?
the first movie is they turned the character from the TV show a traitor. What's his name?
Oh.
The bad guy the traitor in the first movie.
Yes.
Mission Impossible 1 cast.
The main guy that betrayed them.
John Voight.
Yes.
Jim Phelps. So Phelps is the main character of the TV show, right? And they recast him with John Voight, and then had him betray everything he stood for. And so they fixed that in this movie with his son is the real Phelps from the TV show.
Gotcha. I didn't.
And you killed my dad. So
but yeah, that was really good. That was heartfelt. I like that. But yeah, going back to the chase sequence, it was a little bit clunky in the end with him. The guy dies and he's falling with the parachute, and then instead of going after that parachute, he goes and grabs a different parachute, and then he goes, and then his parachute catches on fire, and then all of a sudden, he's fine.
Yeah, but you have two parachutes when you jump.
Yeah, but
give it back up. And they never showed it. Yeah,
confusing. It would have been so much better if he just like, oh crap, there's no other parachute. That's the parachute. So dive after this guy.
That would have been good.
And use his parachute.
That would have been better.
And then do the thing.
But even better than that, sacrificing himself to grab the thing. That would have been dope.
I wouldn't have hated
that would have been
freaking
good.
That would have been good. I would have.
Right. Alex Green had to go, so he just pieced out.
But I think
check out the White Cloaks.
Fine if he lived as well. But yeah, there's a couple things like that. The sub sequence was good.
That's the best stunt in any Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, the whole
the
thing,
submarine sequence is
it was crazy because it was quiet, like they're underwater. But it was so tense and really good. The only issue, of course, was when he takes off his freaking dive suit.
Yeah,
but
you gotta escalate.
I give him a pass.
It was okay.
Pass for that because it's Mission
Impossible.
Impossible.
It was
right?
ridiculous, and I didn't even care. It was so good.
Same thing, but yeah, it was. And then, of course, him only taking a couple hours or whatever to recover in the hyperbaric chamber when it would have taken days.
Excuse you. He gets healed by Haley Atwell's boobs. Okay.
Did you like that shot where he comes up and it's like... Yeah, the frame is just her boobs coming in to smooch him underwater.
I would say that doesn't take time to heal, but that you would want it to take time. So I take it back.
Anyway,
I agree.
All
that's a problem. It only took a couple hours. It would have taken any other man a lot more than 2 hours.
Yeah, and no other. I mean, it's physically impossible that he would have survived that. Realistically, but again, it's Mission Impossible. It's not supposed to be hyper realistic, so I give all that a pass.
Yeah,
taking off the suit and being, revived.
I also loved the guy that they brought back from Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah, that was
the guy
great.
Who gets screwed over, and they're like, "Oh, how do you know him?" And we're the ones that lost you your job.
Yeah,
in the first movie.
I thought that was a great idea to bring him back. Just a nice nod to the originals.
Also, he's a great actor.
And he's a great actor. Yeah, it was great. A small problem in that sequence too, though, is they went to go get the coordinates, and the Russians are there, and they're like, okay, we've got to scan these discs for the coordinates. Oh, never mind. I have the coordinates. I'll secretly tell you the coordinates. Okay, go transmit the coordinates. Oh no, the Russians intercepted.
The Russians just disappear from the movie.
Yeah,
never come back.
They intercepted the coordinates, so none of that mattered anyway.
I can't remember who it was, but it was someone on Friday Night Tights had a really good take where they're like, the movie, it would have been so much better if they had to work with the Russians.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Maybe.
You're right.
Right, and then that because the one thing that was confusing is that Tom Cruise gets permission from the president of the United States to go do this crazy mission, and then at every stop he has to get permission from the next person. And you're like, or just say the president sent me, bro.
Right.
And he has to win over these people every single time.
The letter,
which would have made sense if he had to win over a Russian sub instead of an American sub. And you're like, hey guys, you're gonna die too if we don't do this.
Yeah,
that would have been a Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that would have been
Although
really
then
good.
we wouldn't have gotten Severance guy, so that would have been a loss.
Yeah, that was so good. He could have been Russian.
I'm gonna have to go.
You know.
Okay.
All right. See you, Charles.
But yeah. See you guys.
Robert, everything. See you, man.
But yeah, as a whole, I really liked this second one, or the last one, the second part, the final of the Reckonings. I thought it was really good. I'm struggling to. I think it's probably my fourth favorite Mission Impossible.
I think it's.
I didn't like the. I didn't like the
enjoyed-
Dead Reckoning as much.
Dead Reckoning is way better than Final Reckoning.
No, not even. There are so many sequences in Dead Reckoning that are just completely contrived and don't make any sense.
The best part about that one is the opening scene where the AI is like erasing people from the camera.
Yeah.
And it's just chaos. They don't know what's going on.
That was great.
And they didn't do any of that in this movie. I was wanting them to do it again.
See, that's
like
my
the
thing.
AI is totally nerfed in this movie. And I think it's because
agree.
feedback, nobody liked it. And so like, okay, the AI is not going to do anything. And what was dumb is that like this sinister AI is also telling everyone what his plan is.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the U.S. government knows the exact time when each country loses control of its nuclear arsenal, and you're like, and they could only know if the AI is telling them, because it controls all of the internet.
Yeah.
And it was a really weird choice that they had this like countdown of like, oh, now this country lost, and we know this information right away because they would definitely be willing to share that with the world. Hey guys, we lost our nukes. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you're like, and the fact that Tom Cruise knew what the countdown number was, he's like, we have this much time. And before he even gets to tell everyone, they show the home base and they have the countdown time, and you're like, how would they know how much time is left? Tom Cruise is the only one with this information.
Yeah, that's fine though.
There were a lot of things, just little things like that just really bothered me in this.
I agree.
Also,
and I hear you,
the
but
president's
I think
entire plan was completely contradictory. The reason that they said, okay, what's the solution to this? Just deactivate your nukes. And they said, but we can't do that though, because if other people shoot their nukes, we're going to need our nukes. Okay, but if you don't do it, the AI gets all of the nukes and everybody dies. So I get that, like, that one choice is bad, but but to avoid the bad choice, you're enabling an infinitely worse choice.
Yeah.
Which was really stupid. And the fact that they took so long to this is the choice I should have made so long ago. Like, yeah, like that's why I never would have voted for you. Okay.
Yeah. I agree. There's some silly things and some plot contrivances there, but I think there were so many more of them in Dead Reckoning.
I think it's
I really like the concept of a rogue AI, and I think that's a perfect escalation, I guess you could say, for the Mission Impossible universe. But I think my biggest missed opportunity with these last two films is it would have been a great opportunity to say, hey, the AI is taking over the internet and all this technology.
So now we have to go back to old stuff. We got to do
because
yeah.
One of my favorite things about Mission Impossible films is seeing that technology. And in the old one, they pull out this old janky brick phone, you know, and then the other ones they have a flip phone, and it's like super
huge missed opportunity.
It would have been great to say, hey, we can't rely on that old technology, and then it would be another nod to the original too. Bring back all of those
Bring
old
back physical discs,
technology,
you know,
analog technology that they were using.
Would have been dope.
The previous.
It would have been great. That's a big misstep.
So,
and
I still
I really
enjoyed
dislike how like Gabriel's character does a complete 180 in this movie, and you're like, the AI betrayed you because. Why? And you're like, all of a sudden he's against the AI, but also against everyone else. You're like, I did not understand Gabriel's character in either of these movies.
Yeah.
And I thought it was weird that they were trying to imply some sort of history with Gabriel and was Tom Cruise's character Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
And you're like he hates Ethan Hunt so much. He's willing to sacrifice his mission just so that he can kill members of Ethan's team. And he knows him so well psychologically that he knows Ethan's biggest weakness is he cares so much about his team. And you're like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this implied connection works. It doesn't.
Yeah, it was told in a backstory in the seventh film,
them.
Saying, "Oh yeah, before he was with the IMF, he killed your other girlfriend that we just now mentioned." But again, that was a problem with movie number 7. That's one of the issues that I don't like about it. I thought the AI was intriguing and terrifying, but I agree, Gabriel was not a very intimidating villain. And there's
I thought it was much better in part 1 than part 2. Part 2 was like
I didn't like that. That whole meeting where they got everyone together and he was just like, "Oh yeah, this is what's going to happen. You're going to do all these things," and then they just let him walk away, and then they start fighting after he walks away. And then for some reason they're like, "Oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to fight, and one of the two of you is going to die, and you're going to have to choose which one dies." And then Grace shows up, and they fight. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to kill you." And then Isla shows up, and like, "Oh yeah, I knew it was going to be you."
I don't think Dead Reckoning is a perfect movie. The stunts were great. It's got problems. I think it has less problems than Final Reckoning.
No, I did not.
You're just a big dum dum. You don't
like
have
Dead
media
Reckoning
literacy.
But yeah, I really liked Final Reckoning a lot
even
more.
In spite of my complaints, watch these movies, man. They're a treat.
It's still really fun.
They're a treat.
I don't think there's any of them that are bad movies aside from number 2, and honestly, I don't really like number 4 either. Number 4 is the second worst movie.
I think this one's kind of a bad movie.
No, I
as
don't
much
think
as
so.
I love the stuff that's in it.
Yeah, it's got some really great stuff.
It's the second worst.
No, it's not worse than number 4. Number 4 was the only good part of number 4 was the Burj Khalifa.
You didn't like number 4? Dude, that's directed by Brad Bird.
I don't care. It wasn't very good. The only good segment was the Burj Khalifa where he's scaling the building and they had to do the dual meeting swap.
That's so good.
Subterfuge. Yeah, that was
There's
the
lots
only
of other
good thing
stuff
about
in that
the
movie.
No, name one
You're
other thing.
dum-dum.
The rest of the movie, there was
Rebecca Ferguson.
Yes, she was a great part of the movie. You're right.
Okay.
She was in.
Doesn't have quite the healing prowess as Haley Atwell, but still nice.
But the rest of the movie, of the movie was really dumb. That's the one they had that magnet robot where he's floating through the server room, held up by this rover with the big giant magnets on it, so that he can't touch the sides of the thing to turn off the computer, and it was just ridiculously stupid. And then the end fight where they're fighting in a car vending machine.
Dude, this is
so stupid.
A car? No,
I was laughing the whole time.
The car parking lot was so cool.
The only good part about that was at the very end where he drove off and absorbed the impact with the
This isn't the one with the Kremlin in it. That's 5, right? Where like they have that like a mirror screen.
Oh yeah, that's the Kremlin too. I did not like that either with the mirror screen. It was an interesting idea, but there's no freaking way that would have worked. It was so.
You're just not a good enough programmer. I guess. It was a cool idea, man. And then him getting into that building too was fun. Taking a picture with the camera, and it was good stuff.
That was introduced in number 3.
You don't know things.
Number 3 is when they first took the picture.
Rebecca Ferguson's not in number 4. It's Paula Patton.
Right. It's 5 that.
Oh, but Jeremy Renner, that makes up for Rebecca Ferguson not being at number 4.
Yeah, number 5 is when Rebecca Ferguson shows up. Number 4 is when they completely ignore his wife character from the third movie until the very end. We're like, oh yeah, spoilers. We said she died, but we actually faked her death, and she's alive still. I did not like number 4.
Wow.
Number 2 is the bottom of the list. Number 4 is
so much better than the Final Reckoning.
And then I think Dead Reckoning is the third worst.
You're a twisted man with bad opinions.
Nope, not so.
I like Ghost Protocol.
I like the next one. I like Rogue Nation. Fallout is the best, and number 3 is fantastic. It's underrated.
Paula Patton is not hard on the eyes either.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I really liked Rogue Nation because it was a
is Simon Pegg in number 3?
Yes, he's introduced in 3? Number 3. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4.
3 is so good.
3 is really good.
Got Owen Davian.
3 would be
best villain.
3 would be, I don't know if it would be the best. It would be one of the best if it weren't for all the shaky cam.
Yes, there is a lot of shaky cam, and that brings it down a little bit. But we've got one of the best villains. Henry Cavill was amazing, but Owen Davian is fantastic. The opening sequence with him threatening his wife.
Is that his character's name?
Owen Davian is the character. Sorry. He's so
best villain,
so fantastic.
For sure.
The cold open is amazing.
Hanging him out of the plane scene and cutting the cords and then having his team accidentally call him Ethan and giving up information about
yes, so
good.
And then
babe,
the bit with the defibrillator, when they're saving.
I'll die if you don't kill me. Yeah, good line. Great line.
But it's the ultimate Chekhov's gun too, and you don't even realize it's Chekhov's gun until the very end. You're like, oh, we're gonna save you with the defibrillator, but it doesn't work. She's too late. She blows up, and then she has to use Chekhov's gun in the end on him. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the only time it's the most reserved for the masks, because the only time was when their interrogation and he kills what we thought was his wife, and no, it's not someone else. But it makes sense this time because
isn't there also a scene where they're interrogating the bad guy in masks in like a hospital? Or no, that's 4.
No, that's 5, I think.
4. It's one of them. It's hard to keep them separate because all the missions are impossible and all of them have Tom Cruise in it. So
yeah. But anyways, I really like 3. It's underrated. It's on a lot of the lists that I looked up. It's the second worst on most people's lists, and I think they're crazy.
Absolutely false.
Number 3 is phenomenal. 3, 5, and 6 to me are like top notch. It's really hard for me to determine which one.
I do like that the franchise shifted into like more action, just unbelievable stunts, but I also miss the espionage from the first movie. Like I love the darker, more intellectual, and it still got stunts.
That's why I kind of liked Rogue Nation.
Breaking into the vault, right, and doing
That's why I kind of like Rogue Nation too, number 5, so much, is because it's the only one where there wasn't like an objective that they're going for. There wasn't the in all of them they had the knock list, and then they had the rabbit's foot, and then they had the Russian nuclear codes, and 5 is the only one where there isn't an objective. They're like, oh crap, we've been disavowed. Someone is trying to take down our organization, and they're trying to figure it out. So I think that one, number 5, is the one that's the most like the original in terms of uncovering and unraveling, the mystery of what's going on.
That scene in number 3 was very upsetting and very good.
Yeah,
it was a shock.
Anyway, I've said my piece about Mission Impossible. They're fun. I like the last one. I agree that it has problems, but I still really enjoyed myself.
I've never seen Felicity. Is this a good show, or this looks like some kind of rom-com? Pass.
Is that the one?
Oh, it's got the actress in it. Anyway, yeah. Did we cover everything?
Yeah,
let's see. Murderbot, Last of Us, Rehearsal, Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible. Yeah, that's everything. We got 2 weeks of just a 20-minute Murderbot episode.
Yeah.
Unless we're seeing Ballerina next week and How to Train Your Dragon the week after that. But
Ballerina is the John Wick thing. John Wick spinoff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen the rest of the
I
John
just
Wicks,
barely caught up like a few weeks ago, and it was good. I liked 4. 4 was fun. What was I saying? Okay. I'm going to be able to get a lot of reading done because my wife has a whole bunch of family plans, but I don't think I can commit to, as much as I want to, I can't commit to Conan this week. I can do it next week, even if my family's here, because we don't start doing family stuff until Wednesday, right?
I thought Tuesday was boating.
Well, then maybe I can play Conan on Monday, a week from tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Let's plan that. I want to say we need more homework than just a 20-minute Murderbot episode, but I'm also going to be busy. So, they leaked that Astrid is not Astrid, but a person that came from outside Burke. Okay, so they didn't race swap Astrid?
Well, I mean, they did, but
they just replaced her with a different character?
Honestly, it makes sense in Viking culture. They did a lot of...
Not tomorrow. I can't play tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Anytime, really, I can play.
I can maybe play tomorrow. We'll see.
Any place. It's going to be a crazy busy summer. All of my kids are doing activities, and I've got family in and out of town. I'm going in and out of town. I'm not going to tell you when, though, so the internet doesn't rob my house. It's all short stuff, like quick, like a weekend thing, you know. Astrea. What is this? Oh, the character's name, not Astrid. It's weird. I don't think I do know a lot of young people, like high schoolers, because I teach young men at church. They're all really excited for How to Train Your Dragon. The animated movies are really popular with younger kids right now, even though they're pretty old. I don't really understand why you would need a live action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. In my mind, I think that
kids
one
are going to
makes more sense than a lot of these other adaptations. But
I think it'll be close to Minecraft movie numbers.
Yeah,
I've seen real life anticipation for this movie, and that I didn't think existed at all, because it just wasn't on my excitement radar at all.
Yeah.
They're more excited about How to Train Your Dragon than Marvel or DC. Exponentially. They do not care about Superman or Fantastic Four.
Yep. The next superhero movie that I've heard any buzz of excitement over is the new Spider-Man, because it's Spider-Man.
The animated one, or
no,
the
the next
right.
one. I think
the one that's going to be in like 3 years.
No, it's next year. I thought end of next year.
I doubt that's next year.
That's what they announced, but I don't know.
They're bringing in his daughter. It's going to be a multiverse crap thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, they're bringing in Peter Parker's daughter.
Spider-Man New Home, is that it? No,
yeah, they cast the Stranger Things chick as Peter Parker's daughter. I forget her name.
May Parker.
Yeah.
If that's following the comics.
But it's not gonna be it's gonna be Tobey Maguire's daughter.
Oh.
It's not gonna be Tom Holland's daughter.
Right.
He looks 6.
Right, yeah. What did they... I saw something. Brand New Day? Is that what it is? That's it. That's what it is. Yeah, it's slated for 2026. July 31st, 2026 is when they expect to release it. So, but that's the only one I've heard some office buzz about.
Cool.
So, we'll see.
I don't really care. I
but yeah.
No Way Home was pretty dumb. Plot-wise.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was absolutely fun seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. The plot of that movie is atrocious. Can't stand the story.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's anyone to redirect to. I could redirect. Upcoming live streams. There's a White Cloak one, but I think it's like their default. I don't think it's actually a live stream. I could send everyone over to Film Threat. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and see if the live redirect works. Never had to use it in the past because usually we're streaming so late that there's no one to redirect to. Okay, that's the show. You're going to get redirected to Film Threat because I want to see if this works. Also because they're cool. So,
nice.
I don't think they need my viewership. I think they're doing just fine. Arc Season 2. Oh, I need to finish watching that, don't I? I watched like the first 2 episodes, I think, and then something happened.
Was that
I forgot
Paramount Plus? Or what was that on?
I think what happened is I was watching it, and then we were watching like 6 shows every week, and so I had to stop. But I'll get back into the arc since we've got 2 bye weeks. I'll let you know how I liked Season 2. I already said I really disliked the villain of Season 1 until like the final episode. They finally like gave her some personality, and I was like, oh, I like her now. But up until like throughout the whole season, I was like, this villain is just not interesting in any way. And then they managed to like, it's an okay show. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's breaking any crazy ground, but I think it justifies its existence. I think it's fine. I think it's worth watching.
So on NBC Peacock, that's where it's streaming for free.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Don't have that anymore.
I have it for Stephanie wanted to watch Parks and Rec, so I think we signed up for like 4 months because there was some discount or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I used to get it free from Verizon, but don't have Verizon anymore.
Yeah, I think I've signed up for like 7 streaming services at the moment.
It's too many, man.
I keep trying to unsubscribe, and my wife was like, but I want this one. I'm like, it's your money. You're the one who's making most of the money. All right. I can't say no.
That's a good point. No, I let my Netflix cancel again.
I haven't had Netflix for a while, yeah.
So I think the only one I'm paying for now is Amazon and the Daily Wire. I think those are the only 2 I'm actively subscribed to. And I'm thinking about dropping the Daily Wire too, because I can watch everything I want to on YouTube, and they haven't released any new content in a year.
When the heck is Pendragon Cycle coming out?
I don't freaking know. There's
already
radio
supposed to be
silence.
released.
Pendragon Cycle and their Snow White was supposed to be released last year, and there's been
that's not
nothing
happening anymore.
No, there's no way that's happening. But they haven't said anything.
I think they have some legal trouble with restructuring and Jeremy Boring stepping down from.
Yeah, definitely
stepping down or maybe fired. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Pendragon Cycle TV series release date. Maybe I go to their YouTube channel actually.
Yeah, on Daily Wire's website it just says coming soon or something.
They're moving forward with Dresden. Okay, you keep saying this like every week, and I can't find any news articles about it. So where are your sources, bro? Cite your sources. Send me some articles. Tweet me.
Yeah, so they apparently wrapped production in September of last year.
Filming, principal photography. That's not.
Yeah,
but yeah. Yeah, I know that one of the blog videos that the updates was this is the last day of filming. Obviously CGI has to happen after that, but from Jim Butcher. All right.
So I guess it wasn't supposed to come out last year, but
it was supposed to come out in 2024. Yeah, originally. I think stuff's slowed down. I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything other than coming soon. Yep.
Who's it moving forward with? Do we know yet? Jim Butcher.
Butcher's involved with it?
He says he's learned it from Butcher. Jim Butcher, C2E2 update from a few months ago. No, that's not it.
It's always a good sign that the original author is involved, unless the original author is Neil Gaiman.
Dude, this guy writes fast. Jim Butcher's killing it.
Does he have any other major series besides Dresden Files? Or
I think that's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm sure he's microfiction. So he's got a few things, but that's like the big one.
Yeah.
Fox? So Disney.
But it might be on Hulu. Fox is still their own
Searchlight Studios.
Separate
Searchlight Disney, or I didn't think Fox was allowed to make things anymore. I think it's Searchlight.
They're still making stuff.
I think it's under Searchlight.
They're paid for by Disney, but it's a separate group doing it.
Right, but they're no longer called Fox. It's Searchlight Studios.
No, I don't know.
Furies of Caldera? I don't know which one that is. I've only read the first book. I need to, again, I would like to get back into Dresden, but you guys keep shooting more books down my gullet every week. There's like 6 more, and it's not just like, oh, read this one book. No, it's read this entire series that has 15 books in it.
Yeah. Oh, that is a different series. It's not Dresden Files. The Furies of Caldera, book 1 of the Codex Alera.
Yeah, I need to read more Jim Butcher. I need to read lots of things. So,
yep.
I actually need to pick the next book right now. I think it's going to be the Wars game. So.
Alrighty.
Yep. All right. See you guys next week. And David and I need to record some more comic book stuff, but it's going to be, I don't know, schedules are crazy right now. So, we'll see you then. I'm tired. I haven't slept for a long time. I've been doing wedding stuff.
Yep.
Oh, it's regular TV. You were talking about that. Okay, cool. Okay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. Yeah, I did. That was his other series, right? Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. It's been super fun. Thanks for tuning in. You have many choices for entertainment, and we're glad that you went with Spirit Airlines. So we'll see you guys next week, where David will have more horrible opinions, and I got to see if this redirect works. So let me quickly make sure I can actually see. Cool. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.